go.
Welcome to Windsor Park in Launceston. It's a crucial clash this afternoon in the TSL between the home team Launceston and the visitors Lauderdale. The Southern Bombers are at the moment looking to push towards a top 3 spot. So are the Blues. It's going to be a fantastic contest and the stakes are high. We might run through some of the ladder permutations in just a moment. But first of all, I'd like to welcome my fellow commentator this afternoon, Mitch Hills. G'day, Hillsy.
G'day, Dave. It's absolutely terrific to be here. Ripper day again. We've turned it on and really exciting clash. I've been looking forward to this one for a couple of weeks now. We knew it was coming and this will have big ramifications for the TSL season ahead.
Lauderdale, Southern Bombers. And also, oops, sorry, just turn that off for a moment. Push towards the top 3 spot. So are the Blues. Also, Hillsy, looking at today's game, where do you think it's going to be won by either team?
Well, I think the midfield battle is going to be crucial. Both teams have a pretty big forward lines that can kick a big score. So I reckon it's going to be really important through the midfield battle, especially in the ruck. I looked through the warm-up there that Jamison House might play a bit of a role through the ruck today with Tim Auckland coming into the side. So it's definitely going to be key through the midfield and whether Launceston's back line can hold up against the forward line there today. So both teams are really in form, which has been handy, and we're looking for a big clash today. Dave.
Thanks, Hillsy. Just a few technical things to work out there, so I'm back on board here. So I didn't hear a word you said, but I'm sure it was fantastic. Macca today will be here. Matthew McGee, our third commentator. He's got soccer commitments, so he'll be here very soon. Yeah,
so great clash coming up here, Dave. Ripper day for it. So I'm really excited about this clash, and I think it's going to really set either team up who wins today for a big finals tilt. Some key guys coming back in for both sides that I've noted down here, and I haven't seen Lauderdale for a little bit now, but the likes of Gilby, Havia, Mosquito and Boscott, and the inclusion of Nick Baker from the Allies, who had a Ripper Allies series, has come back in as well. So really keen to see how those guys stand up against Launceston today.
Now, apologies if you said this before, Hillsy, because I was otherwise occupied, but young Matt McGuinness returns today, and the 3 McGuinness brothers are playing. What a fantastic family they've been for the Lauderdale Footy Club.
Yeah, I just mentioned pre-broadcast, Dave, that 3 brothers, a super talented group of boys, all come through the Mariners program. We tend to say that a fair bit, but they have, and they've really got assets to them. They're great kicks to the footy, athletic types, can go forward and back, and all 3 playing in the one side's pretty exciting for Lauderdale.
Our boundary rider today is Craig Boone, and he's down on the boundary. And Booney, what are the conditions like down there at Windsor Park?
Yeah, very pleasant down here today, Dave. As good as you could get on a winter's day. I think the sun's out. It's fairly cool, 12 degrees, but for a day in July, it's as good as you get for playing footy. The ground's a little heavy, obviously, with the rain we've had during the week. It's probably what you'd call a heavy track, and so I think there'll be a few tired legs come the last quarter and a bit of work for the trainers on the bench there to keep people up and going. But, really nice conditions and no real breeze to speak of.
Fantastic, Booney. We'll look forward to talking you through the day.
Thanks, Dave.
Craig Boone there on the boundary. And what about the forward line today? We've got the 2 ruckmen in. We've got Auckland, of course, from the Mariners, and also Leedham. How are they going to use those 2 guys?
Yeah, I think it's potentially what Lauderdale can use to their advantage. Both a little bit one-dimensional from my point of view in terms of genuine ruckmen. So they look like they're going to use Leedham as a forward target with Thorpe and Riley, which is be pretty handy, I guess. You'd be pretty happy with that. But if Lauderdale can get the ball to ground, they might be able to sweep it away with a lack of pressure. So we'll see how that pans out.
Even despite the rain during the week, the ground is in pretty good nick. I saw in the Development League, the Mercury Cup previous, the ball was bouncing okay, and there was some good footy played. And Launceston won that one, by the way, 20-22-142. Defeated Lauderdale 6-2-38 in the curtain raiser. About underway here. Welcome to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, and via the TSL live stream. We're underway at Windsor Park. Crucial clash for both teams. Smith gets it down, little handball away now here towards Auckland. He gets it to Smith to Rundle. They're going backwards. Now with Harper, he has to stop and prop. Gets it sideways and finds Denellen. Backside of the wing. On the left foot, he goes short back towards Smith. Not a great kick. Taken here by Lauderdale. Weaving his way through the pack there, I think, is Bell Chambers. He goes inside 50, and the mark's delivered. The kick's delivered nicely. The mark's taken on his chest there by Ben McGuinness. Kicked a big bag last week, Hillsy.
7 goals last week, Dave. So coming off a big one. Great start by the Lauderdale midfield just to clear that and get inside 50 quite easily.
Costly turnover too by the Blues. And McManus, Bell Chambers get the ball in his hands. He's deadly. And he got it nicely towards Ben McGuinness. So for our radio listeners, he's about right on the 50. about 10 metres in from the boundary, so it's a pretty difficult kick. There's a slight breeze favouring the town end of Windsor Park. In comes McGuinness. That's Ben McGuinness, close to the man of the mark, judges it nicely, floats in towards goal, doesn't quite make the distance. It's thumped through for a behind. First score today. That's one behind to Launceston. Lauderdale yet to score. What are you seeing, Hilsey?
Yeah, well, really interesting through the midfield there. There's a lack of pressure there, and that one, I guess, trying to use the corridor, Launceston, a lot.
Yep.
So you turn it over early in the game there, so signalling that that's what they want to try and do throughout the rest of the game.
Tackle lay there by House on Keranoia. Can be a ball up. Far side of Windsor Park. Not a bad crowd in today. A few reunions today for the Lonnie Footy Club. The 98 and 2008 and 1938 reunions. As Rundle gets it out towards Dunellen. It's not much going on over there at the moment. House is in there. There'll be another ball up. One behind Lauderdale. Launceston yet to score. So a quiet start to the game. A lot of players around the contest.
Bit of a scrum over there on the outer side,
we
Dave,
need
at
to
the
clear
moment.
it out a bit. Will there be zones next year or players inside 50 at stoppages? We'll have to wait and see.
To see, won't it? Yeah.
That's what's been mooted as the ball's tossed up. House against Smith. In fact, that was Auckland in there. Comes out now. Quick kick inside 50. There's a whistle back on play.
Right.
It's a throw. It's going to go Launceston's way. It's going to go there to the new player on the side, the Tassie Mariner, Auckland. Won the premiership with Scotch Oakburn this year as well. Gets it short to Rundle, the veteran. Originally from Devonport. He goes indoors looking here for Tom Shepherd, who takes the mark. Pinpoints pass there for the Blues. Up the wing, that's not so good. Mark taken there by McGuinness. Hands off now to McManus. Robbie McManus inside 50. Big fly there by the mighty Thor. Didn't time it very well. The fall of the ball is to Nellen. Back to Kelly Mansell. Kicks up towards the wing. Player in space here is Jones. Played a great game last week. Leans back in a little kick and finds Harper. Back in form. Inside 50. Harper looking for Leadham. Leads up and takes it. The second grab. About 40 out. Slightly right of centre.
That little bit of class, Dave, you can it's a big difference, isn't it, when they can use the ball well by foot. There's a couple of turnovers early from Launceston, but Jones to Harper to Leadham was a really good bit of play.
Fantastic, and here's Leadham now. Taking his time, playing up the forward roll today. Kicks it nicely, but it's off to the right.
Very
One
close
behind.
to the man on the mark there,
He was,
Dave.
yep. Lucky not to have been touched.
True ruckman kicking for goal, I think.
So, yeah, that's a dangerous forward line, as Hilsey said from the top of the program. Got Leadham, Riley and Thorpe. As it's Josh McGuinness, long out of defence, beautiful kick. Over there looking for Smith. Taken away by Laumsis. Handball in close quarters, gets it back to Laumsis.
Good speed.
Gets it back from Bell Chambers. He kicks up towards half forward, but leading out there is Simon van der Velde. Goes back. Short kick from van der Velde's a good one. Finds a teammate in Roller Kelly Mansell. Gets a call from Paul Freeman, puts it out in front of him. He might approach 50 here, Paul Freeman. He might pull the trigger for goal. Brady Paul Freeman not going to make the distance, is it? Yes, it is. Oh, touched right on the line. Great effort there by Oscar Shaw, running back and smothering the ball.
He misjudged it a bit, but it bounced up for him. He got the hand on it very late.
And he's a player you're keeping your eye on there. Oscar Shaw, youngster there, number 15 for Lauderdale.
Certainly am.
Josh McGuinness again. In fact, that was Matt McGuinness that time.
Yeah, Matt.
Might be the first time today I'll get him mixed up. As out towards Franklin. Matt Franklin takes a mark. Bit of attention there from Auckland.
He's one who's lifted his game a little bit, Dave, over the recent weeks.
Yep.
Nat Franklin, he's a key mover through the midfield for Lauderdale, and he needs to be in good form if there's any chance today.
Punched away by Harp, who's been prominent early. Out of bounds. You listen to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5. Dave Mohr and Mitch Hills. And Matthew McGee will be joining us at quarter time. It's one behind a piece. There's a whistle on play.
Out here.
Didn't see that one, Hilsey. Help me out. Looks like it's a ruck infringement.
Ruck infringement, Lauderdale free kick.
And one of the most improved players in the competition. You played with him at Western Storm, Hilsey. Aidan Smith.
I did. He's certainly improved. He's really does well against more athletic opponents generally. He's a real worker, effort-based player.
Making a run here beautifully is Josh McGuinness. Takes the mark. Has a player in Phil McManus. Gets the handball, gets it back now to Josh McGuinness, prominent early, runs through the centre of Windsor Park, kicks inside 50 looking for Boscott. Over the back, here's Mosquito, the excitement machine. He picks it up. He snaps for goal as Timmy Mosquito. Oh, fantastic work there. Can't wait to call this boy today. He's a fantastic player from the Northern Territory, Tim Mosquito, and it's the first goal on the board for the Lauderdale Bombers.
I know you've been waiting for that. You've been talking about that for a week, Dave. Calling Dave, you've got to get the Mosquito goals, and he's provided the goods early.
Timmy Mosquito. And that, well, in all seriousness, Hillsy, that's been his game this year. He's been fantastic. He's kicked now, there's 2, 3, 4 goals a game.
Good to have in the competition, excitement machine.
But how good was Josh McGuinness there? He just read the play beautifully. He got the kick first up.
Something Launceston don't want to let happen too often is the McGuinness boys running off half back with no attention, so they'll generally use it pretty well.
So great end-to-end football from Lauderdale. Puts them in front, 1-1-7 to 1 behind. Back in the middle, Auckland and Smith. Neither can get an effective tap out. Falls to Bell Chambers. Penetrating kick inside 50. Chance here for Denellen. Can't quite take the mark. He's met heavily by Boscott. Caught with the ball. In fact, the Tutai Avea, beg your pardon. And Tutai will line up for goal right in front, about 35 out. And Denellen there sat under that ball. He just dropped the mark and then he took the spillage, held on a little bit too long.
Interesting signs early. Launceston really trying to play that kick, stop, start game, trying to use the corridor a lot more. However, Lauderdale looking to move the ball quickly and direct. And why wouldn't you when you've got such dangerous forwards?
Now, Hills, are you remembering to do the goal kickers?
I am, yes.
There's right in front, about 35 out. Tutai Avea. Been playing about 8 minutes here at Windsor Park. Chance for their second. Avea off to the right. 1 behind, 1-2-8 Lauderdale. Launceston 1 behind, 1 point. Short kick comes in, looking for Chase Jones. Falls now, chance here for Heavey. Kick semi-smothered. Vandervelde loses a bit of balance. Tries to pick it up again as a big fella. Still a chance here for Lauderdale. Comes up here towards Karanoia. I think he's kicked it off the ground.
He has.
Karanoia, the number 10 there for Lauderdale. Little left foot toe poke. Has put through the second for Lauderdale. 2-2-14. Launceston 1 behind, 1 point.
They're looking very dangerous inside 50, getting the ball in there quickly and just creating opportunities. Launceston persistently trying to play that little short kicking game.
And I think I've got the score wrong there. It's 2 behinds, 2 points. Thanks, Simon. So it's 2 behinds, 2 points, Launceston, 2-2-14 Lauderdale. Yeah, and just a couple of errors in the back line there from Launceston. And Lauderdale are going to take full toll of those sort of errors.
Yeah, the midfield battle is clearly going Lauderdale's way early as well with the 2 easy clearances.
In the middle, umpire Nick Butler slams it into the turf of Windsor Park. Auckland gets it down, sharked by Heavey. Off towards the wing. Over there is Mosquito might have taken that. Play on though, says the umpire. Yeah, ball up as Mosquito is beset upon.
You're really going to love that today, aren't you? The Mosquito.
Yep. He's one of my favourites already. Love that goal. Blues need to answer those first couple of goals from Lauderdale. They do probably have a slight breeze, Lauderdale. Player tackled there was House. Bell Chambers to Heavey. Now there's a free kick, but it's play onto advantage as Mosquito takes it around the outer side. Falls to the back. Chance here again for Lauderdale. Boscott kicks around the corner. That's 3. And Boscott's on the board for Lauderdale. Their big guns are firing. 3-2-20. Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points.
Not doing anything special at the moment, Dave, are they? They're just sort of getting the ball forward however they possibly can and just giving opportunities to their small forwards. So the tall forwards getting it to ground and the small forwards playing their role. And
Bell Chambers, he's been in great form and he's such a penetrating kick and such a big body in that centre area for Lauderdale.
Pretty underrated player overall, isn't he? He's effective with his body use and work around the stoppages.
Wow, what a pulsating start here from Lauderdale. 9 minutes and 40 seconds into this first quarter. Bounce down in the middle. Auckland, Havea in the ruck. Auckland wins it easy. Towards Franklin though. Polfram is bundled out of the way. Jack Rushton's in there. Round the corner, Heavey's had a few kicks already. Up towards the wing, bad bounce for Kelly Mansell. Bounces to Mosquito. Mosquito kicks inside 50. Low kick. Punched away. Bit of a chaos ball. Here's Thor Boscott. He kicks it sideways to that man Mosquito.
Been busy early.
He is indeed. And he's going to line up about 40 out. Tough angle on the right-hand side. But they look dangerous each time they go inside 50 and they're winning the clearances.
It's pretty simple football, Dave, isn't it? Get the ball in the clearance, get it forward quickly, give yourself a chance.
Mosquito should be within range. Kicks towards goal and off to the right. 3-3-21. Lauderdale. Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points.
Has to be said, Dave, Launceston looking a little bit flat to start the game,
they
aren't
are, and they're going to have to rectify that because before they know it, this game will be out of reach. Jamison House, poor kick, falls to Heavey, another possession. Chain of handballs ends up now with Bell Chambers. Let's fly for goal. Another one for Lauderdale.
Wow.
This time to Phil Bell Chambers. And that's his first. 4-3-27. Lauderdale, Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points. And another error coming out of defence there. Hillsy.
Yeah, I think sometimes, you've just got to go back to basics a little bit. When you're going out of defence, you just want to go wide and long, especially when you're under such pressure. You've kicked the first 3 goals of the game and they're just trying to pinpoint little targets in the middle of the ground. So go back to basics.
Yep, 25-point lead. And the crowd in front of the Launceston bar there, reunion day. Not probably impressed with the start from the Blues here. A long way to go. But scoreboard pressure is good from Lauderdale early. You listen to City Park Radio. 103.7, 96.5 and the TSL live stream. Auckland wins another tap. This time out to Rundle, who's tackled from behind. Shrugs it. Kicks up towards attacking 50. Thorpe involved for the first time. Falls over the back. Can't get his feet. Joey Boyce is lingering. Kicks it off the ground. Chance there for Hines. Fumble costly. Back now to Boyce. He's tackled. Not penalised. Jack Rushton goes in hard. As it stacks on. There'll be a ball up about 30 metres out from the Launceston goal.
Umpire's just letting them play there a little bit. A couple of potential free kicks.
There's the big bus comes in front of us here. Probably hear that on effects mic. Ball up, Nick Butler. The umpire does well, tossing it in the air. A few thump outs there, one from Thorpe. Boyce goes in hard. Good work from the Lauderdale defence. Sutton releases Williams, gets a quick kick away. It'll be kicked downfield, which is unfortunate for the Blues because they had possession. Tyrrell took the mark. Mosquito the beneficiary. He has Sutton if he wants him. He goes longer. Sorry, that was Karanoya. This is Mosquito. He takes the mark, and we've got another infringement. Play on. Mosquito gets it to Sutton. Sutton running shot from goal from 45. Another one.
Wow.
Lauderdale, this time from Reece Sutton. And they've rebounded once again from half-back. Great finish from Reece Sutton. 5 goals on the board for Lauderdale. 5-3-33. Launceston 2 behinds, 2 points.
The intentions from Lauderdale are to get the ball and move it as quickly as possible at all costs. So they're really looking dynamic off half-back at the moment. All players getting involved.
Yep. And Reece Sutton, we haven't seen much of him yet, but he was involved in a couple of times there. And he finished it off nicely. Wow, this game has been blown open early. Can the Blues fight back? Haven't had too many inside 50s as yet. Looks like we've got Leadham in the ruck now up against Smith. Knocks it down, does Leadham. No one can take it cleanly. Palfreyman in there. Handball comes out now towards Rundle. Back to Palfreyman. Almost got tackled. Gets it now to Rulla Kelly Mansell. Gets around Big Smith. Up to half forward. A nice mark from Ethan Jackson. Handball off to Leadham on the run. Funny old left foot kick. Might be all right though. Out comes Jack Rushton from the spillage. He gets the ball. He's tackled. Quick kick away, not effective. Handball away from Harrison. Now a kick out of defence by Williams. Only as far as Rulla Kelly Mansell. Goes short, play on, says the umpire. Finds Brendan Taylor. Might be within range. He's not a bad kick, young Taylor. Kicked a couple last week in the last quarter.
Roller trying to sneak around the back here for a handball. No.
Taylor right in front.
I'll be just beyond him, Dave. Yes.
He goes round. He goes the short kick option here, looking for Hines, who takes a strong mark. That was not an easy one to take. And lovely kick from Taylor. He weighted it beautifully.
Good smart kick, wasn't it?
Yep.
Put it to his advantage. Great grab from Jake Hines.
So our stream viewers will see a good view of this one right behind us here in the function centre.
Excellent kick of the football. We're going to back him in here, Dave. You need it. They need it big time.
Hillsy's called it. Here comes Jake Hines. They need this one, as he says. It's fading away to the left. Nearly snuck in, but it's 1 behind to Launceston. 3 behind, 3 points. Lauderdale 5-3-33. And we've been playing 15 minutes, about halfway through this first quarter. As Josh McGuinness goes wide looking for Smith, a lovely kick, and Smith takes the mark just inside the boundary line. On the far side, in front of the Lonnie change rooms. He's looking inside as Hayden Smith. He's going to go down the line, probably the more sensible option.
Safe bet for Hayden.
Yep. As it comes to the front there, Chase Jones is in there. Good tackle laid on the Lauderdale opponent. That was Franklin by the Launceston player there.
A little bit more aggression coming from Launceston here through the middle of the ground, and a bit more pressure, which is good.
Smith. It's the tap down only as far as Jake Smith. Or Rundle might have tried to do too much there. Yep, maybe penalised. Play on as the ball swept away to Mosquito.
Wow.
Over the top now to Ed Stanley, to Bell Chambers inside 50. Good spoil there from Harper, who's playing down back. Spills out of bounds. They're moving the ball nicely when they get possession.
Just really fast.
Through waves, yep.
It's impressive, actually. How strong is that breeze, Dave?
Yeah, it's a bit hard because we're under the shelter a little bit. I don't think it's worth that much. We'll soon see at half-time. That's what they usually say, Hillsy.
You do, yes.
See how both teams use
just
it.
the intent to start the game, Dave, I think is key. It's Lauderdale are really aggressive and hard running, and Launceston have looked a little bit flat, but maybe lifted in the last 3 or 4. Tap
out shark by Jones. Falls now towards Ethan Jackson, who's tackled, loses possession. In there is Williams. Jackson does well, but he gets only as far as Matt McGuinness. Off to Josh McGuinness. Up to half forward. Mark taken. Short kick in by Gilby. Can't find the target. Vanderveld's there. He's probably tackled without it. Harper's in there as well. They're fighting hard at half back, the Blues. Stanley does get the ball out of Smith. Wrestles himself clear. Sutton. Baker thumps it forward to the advantage of Gilby or maybe Mosquito. Handball comes out as that dog barks. And Taylor is wrestled to a standstill. Be a ball up about 35 metres out from Lauderdale's goal. They lead by 30 points. As it's from the throw up, Chase Jones in there. Can't break clear. Another ball up. They're just stemming the flight at the moment, Launceston, but they're not putting any scoreboard pressure on themselves.
Really need one goal to go in at quarter time, don't they, Dave?
Yep. Chase Jones round the corner, releases the kick up here looking for Hines. Leads the chase the ball with Harrison. Hines does well. Handball to Jackson. Jackson kicks it just inside the boundary line. Up towards Riley. He takes it. Dylan Riley shows a bit of class. Zooms away to Taylor, who takes the mark. Back into the centre square. Plays on. Nice kick as it turns out now to Ruller, who's drifted up the ground a little bit. He turns. He goes towards Thorpe. Up against Josh McGuinness. Thorpe gets a hand to it. Off the ground there by Rushton. And Rushton's in there again. Riley, handball, Thorpe, should be the first goal. Round the corner, no problem.
You love those ones.
Mitch Thorpe put in 2 or 3 efforts there. Good persistence also from Rushton and Riley. And they're rewarded with their first goal. 1-3-9, Launceston, Lauderdale 5-3-33.
Started here at half-back. Yep. Ethan Jackson, dynamic, you know, a bit of speed. Got the ball to Dill Riley, and he looked to open the game up through the middle of the ground, and they moved the ball quickly. And it was good to see Thorpe up high, give multiple efforts, and he was rewarded by the goal there deep at the end.
That's good footy. I mean, some great passage of play so far. Lots for the highlights reel on the TSL Facebook page during the week.
I've just heard someone call for Hillsy's hammer there. It's a crowd favourite, Dave.
We'll deliver that later on. We're going to wait for the end of the game. Anything can happen. 5-3-33, 1-3-9. So the first goal for the Blues coming around the 20-minute mark, or 19-minute mark. There's Heavey. He's got a lot of little kicks out of the centre like that. He's worked hard in this first quarter. Taken there by Jackson. Out here now towards Palfreyman. Big year last year, Brody Palfreyman. Up now towards Riley, losing the chase of the ball. Tackled by Oscar Shaw. And he'll be rewarded in correct disposal. And it's tackled by the young fella there.
Good tackle. Yeah, he's good size. I like what I've seen so far.
Oscar Shaw invited to play on. Up the wing here. Chance not taken there by McManus. Up against Tom Shepherd. He wins the battle, McManus. Still in there, Robbie McManus. Good work there from Tyrrell. He shovels the ball forward. The player just laying on the ball. He'll be penalised here. Umpire Doyle signals. He should have got rid of it. And that's Corey Laumses. Joey Boyce with the resulting free kick. He's on centre wing. Pretty crowded ahead. So he goes up the line. Up here looking for Riley. Up against Toots. Thumped away. This time by Nick Baker. He's grown over the last 12 months, Nick Baker. He's a
real rangy type. Athletic. Can run. He's coming in with really good form from the Allies. He was in the best players in all of the games.
Bounty throw in. See there's some soft turf here over on this side. The water's drained too during the week. Lots of rain. Jace Jones gets a quick kick forward. Chance here for Riley. Ducked away there by Shaw. Josh McGuinness releases Stanley. Tries to get through traffic. Jackie Rushton. Big tackle. Release now to Jackson. Joey Boyce right in front. Little shot for goal. He's got it. Joey Boyce puts it through, and that's the second goal for Launceston. 2-3-15. to 5-3-33, and good forward line pressure again by the Blues.
Yeah, much better brand of football, Dave. You know, some of the young players seem to be sort of leading the way there. Chase Jones, his reading of the ruck tap here was elite, as we'd come to expect from him. And I thought Ethan Jackson was really clean that provided that opportunity then.
Yep, so things evening up a little bit. It's a great contest. 7 goals have been kicked, and we're just over the 21-minute mark. So entertaining contest. Not a bad crowd in. One of the bigger ones I've seen for a North versus South clash here at Windsor Park. Plenty over near the club rooms and in front of us here. Lots of Lauderdale support. Of course, the under-18s and Mercury Cup were on earlier. In the middle, centre clearance. Which way is it going to go? Pops towards Lauderdale. Out towards Sutton. Round the corner towards half forward. But JB Harper drifting back. Mops up for the Blues. Steadies things down. In fact, it could be 50 metres. Is that against Jacob Gilby?
I think he just infringed on the mark
Might
there.
have infringed. He's an interesting player, Hillsy, Jacob Gilby.
Yeah, interesting one. I haven't. There wasn't much made about his return, Dave. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, obviously a
experienced player. There's Harper now inside 50. Beautiful kick. Riley, vice-like grip on the mark, and that's great TSL footy by the Blues. We're seeing a good contest now as Harper judged the kick beautifully. And how was the grip on the ball by Riley? Fantastic stuff.
He's a great mark of the footy. He's such a versatile player. He's been swung forward in recent weeks and he's proved the difference for Launceston's turnaround in form.
Dylan Riley, right in front, 35 out, kicks off to the right. They really could have done that one. 2-4-16 to 5-3-33.
We've lifted though. They're giving us a good contest. Let's see if we can keep going. They need one more to go in, even things up a little bit.
Josh McGuinness favours the outer side of Windsor Park. Out here towards Tutai, but drifting and taking the mark nicely is Tim Auckland.
Great grab.
Good grab. He's going to launch it deep for one of the big fellas to take a mark. Riley!
The vice.
Wow, what a good mark that was in the middle of the pack. Second big grab in as many minutes.
Probably want to put this one through, Dave.
Yeah, look at
regulation.
This game has interested me because Lauderdale just got off that big start. Launceston have steadied. And this would put the margin back to just 11 points.
Big turnaround.
Dylan Riley, right in front, makes no mistake. And gives his opponent a bit of a push and shove. Oscar Shaw.
A little bit of feedback for Oscar Shaw.
And it's another goal to the Blues. 3-4-22. Lauderdale 5-3-33. And what a great first quarter we've seen, Hillsy. 8 goals.
Oh, it's been really entertaining, isn't it? I really love the way Lauderdale went about it to start with. And Launceston really kicked into form here and provided us with a really good contest.
Absolutely. And
the big fella, Matthew McGee's here.
Matthew McGee's here. We'll hear from you in just a moment once he gets settled. So 3 goals in a row to the Blues after 5 straight for Lauderdale. But still a handy lead, 11 points. Umpire Butler into the turf. Auckland doing some good work now. Gets it to Rundle, who tries to break clear. He won't be penalised. No prior, says the umpire. And a good choice from young Auckland before after taking that strong mark. Hills, he put it right to the hot spot.
Yeah, he's good at knowing his capabilities, Dave. He's not an elite kick, and you just want to get it in there when the pressure's on and did the right thing.
Chase Jones. Now he might get a downfield kick here. Mark anyway to Taylor. There's a bit of to-do back on play amongst about 4 or 5 players. Tutai Avea's involved. So is young Auckland. Anyway, Taylor's got the ball on the wing. Kick up towards Riley again. Another mark. He's too far out to score, you'd think. He's going to hand off to Thorpe, who's on the boundary line. He centres it. Tall timber up here is Leadham. Can't quite take it. Oscar Shaw's there. He's caught with the ball in a vice-like tackle. Ball says the crowd. It's going to be a ball up just at the top of the goal square. And a bit of feeling in this game now. 5-3-33 Lauderdale. Launceston 3-4-22. Up it goes. Leadham tries to get it down. Chance House. Snap for goal. Offline. One behind. 3-5-23 Lauderdale 5-3-33. As Harrison, I think this time, it's Baker taking the kick out. Oof. And he goes wide, does well, finds a teammate over there. I think that's Harrison on the far side. So long kick along the line. Up here towards the wing. Little handball comes out towards Heavey. Heavey kicks long, looking for Van der Velde. Little handball to Savage, this way, that away. Dodges round. Wiggins, first involvement to Mosquito. Inside 50, Mosquito spots up a teammate right in front of goal.
Great kick from Mosquito.
That's Ben McGuinness off to Gilby. Another goal to Lauderdale. 6-3-39. Launceston 3-5-23. And great team play there by Lauderdale. Culminates in their 6th goal.
That fast ball movement again, Dave. They look to take the ball wide out of defence, but they look to try and move the ball on quickly, and it's providing a lot of opportunities. Now,
what happened there? I took my eye off things, Macca. Just
go, boys.
Can you tell us what happened just at the moment?
I think they paid the free kick, and the goal to Gilby wasn't advantage or whatever, so they just made him have another kick, I think.
Okay,
so
no worries.
I think it was only one goal. I don't think we'll put it down as 2. Only signalled 1.
Yep. So 6-3-39 to 3-5-23 is the score. Welcome to Matthew McGee.
Yeah, how are we, boys? I'll tell you what, Dave, I was transversing the city, and as I left Churchill Park, I was nearly ready to head home after Lauderdale piled on the first 5. But then things started to go the Blues' way. I'll have a little talk about the first 10 minutes in a moment with Mitch Hills at quarter time. I'll be interested to get his thoughts on that first 5 or so minutes from Launceston. So the umpire bounces the ball. What a great bounce here at Windsor Park. Ball comes down, on ball, Bell Chambers. Goes through Lauderdale there. Nat Franklin looks up half forward. Wiggins can't take it. Down the front, Brendan Taylor scrubs the ball forward towards the boundary line. Centre wing, Harper chases, can't get Franklin. Franklin back inside 50, right to the top of there, looking for Gilby, can't find him. Ball comes over the back. Here's Ruller, best on ground last week. Check side left foot. Goes to Smith. Smith left, right. Looks down the line. Good kick. Rushton on the chest. The red head. Gives it over to big head Harper. Harper down the line, big Harps. Oh, not a great decision, Harps, because Josh McGuinness just zoned off. There's his brother, Matt. He lays a tackle. Looking for holding the footy. Umpire circling, still circling, says play on. Jamison House had all day. All kick forward, Lauderdale. Goes towards centre wing, out of bounds in front of Brendan Taylor. And his teammate there is Corey Lamushkis.
Launceston. Yep.
Launceston. There we go. There's one for us, Dave.
I've been handling it all right, Macca. Don't you worry.
I tell you what, the ratings on the live stream have just gone up in the last 2 minutes. I don't know why, but they have. Boundary throw in, centre wing. Yeah, Mosquito. I'll get back to him in a moment too. Heavey, can't take it. Tackled. Not much happening. Here he is, one of the boys. This is Kerenea. Ball still on centre wing. Jamison House in again. Kerenea tackles. Umpire not in control. Nick Baker finds a free kick. I think it's going to go to Launceston. No, it's not. It's going to go to Franklin Lauderdale. So centre wing, Lauderdale scores Dave. Lauderdale 6-3-39 lead. Launceston 3-5-23.
As Franklin kicks long up towards half forward. Good battle there. Gilby couldn't quite take the mark. Ruller's done a lot of good work in this first quarter. Goes dangerously across ground. He's looking for Palfreyman. McManus takes the mark. And the siren sounds. I think we're in for a barrel here. It's barrel distance, Hillsy.
Yeah, no, why not?
Yep.
Barrel count.
So for our radio listeners, he's probably about 65 out. He's got the torpedo hold.
Got onto it.
Doesn't get bad purchase, but it's going to fall short. So it's quarter time here at Windsor Park. Lauderdale 6-3-39 to Launceston 3-5-23. And just to change things up, Hillsy, goal kickers.
Goal kickers. So for Lauderdale, we have 1 to Mosquito, 1 to Gilby, 1 to Sutton, 1 to Boscott, Kerenea with 1, Bell Chambers 1, and to Launceston 3 goals. So 1 goal to each of these, Riley, Thorpe and Joey Boyce.
Mate, that was a really good first quarter. There's some great skills, great kicking especially, and Lauderdale would be pleased with their first quarter, but Launceston did show some fight towards the end.
It was a ripping first quarter, wasn't it? I was really impressed with the way Lauderdale came out, their intent and to move the ball fast and give their really dynamic forward line opportunity, and resulted in plenty of goals early. We thought it was all one-way traffic, but Launceston, I don't know whether the message came out to play a different style. They certainly turned things around halfway through the quarter, and their second half of the quarter was terrific and gave us a really good contest. So they're right in this one still.
Quarter time, it's the Blues trailing by 16 points. Back here in just a moment on City Park Radio and the TSL live stream.
Hi there.
for a few hours each day. It's fascinating and fun. 6334 3344 is the number to call. Look forward to
Lauderdale 6-3-39, Launceston 3-5-23. Let's get straight down now to KG5, the other big game in the TSL today. It's North Launceston versus Glenorchy, the home team, and we welcome into City Park Radio Anthony Osborne. G'day, mate.
G'day, Dave. Yeah, great to be here with you guys. Here, as you said, down at KG5 for North Launceston against the Magpies. Quarter time, Glenorchy 2-4-16, North Launceston 3-4-22. Really even, hard-fought start to this match. Glenorchy actually probably looked the better side for the early parts of the term before North Launceston just gained a little bit of ascendancy late and were able to hit the scoreboard to take a one-goal lead into the first change. But yeah, really good game unfolding here at KG5. Glenorchy's ball movement has been really impressive, and just certainly asking some questions of North Launceston. The Magpies, Jay Bowden for the Magpies, I should say, looks really on song. He's got one goal to his name, Cullen Daly with the other. Well, for North Launceston, Brad Cox-Goodyear has two, and Tom Bennett has one as well.
Okay, mate, and big game, isn't it, for the Glenorchy Magpies, with the two teams that are playing here hot on their tail.
Yeah, exactly right. They really just need to try and keep that pressure on Clarence and North Launceston for a top two finish. And yeah, they'll be itching to get back on the winners list after going down to Lauderdale last week. And they've certainly gone about it the right way early on there. As I mentioned before, just one goal behind at the first break. But for patches in that opening term, certainly looked like the better side.
No worries, mate. So that score again?
Absolutely. So Glenorchy 2-4-16, North Launceston 3-4-22, quarter time at KG5.
A nice close contest down there at KG5. Thanks to Anthony Osborne. We'll hear from him later in the day. Mackie, you got some stats there?
Yeah.
Turn you on, yep.
Got the stats individually. Dylan Riley, 3 kicks, 2 effective handballs, 3 marks and 1 goal. Chase Jones, 5 kicks, 1 handball, including 4 clearances and 2 tackles. Sammy Rundle with 6. Then Harper with 5, Polframan 5, Raleigh Kelly Mansell 6. They're the main ones. One of the things, though, on the stats, and I had a look at it this morning, Dave, when I was doing my homework. Last week, and Hills, you'll know about this also, Launceston love to take those uncontested marks on the 45. Last week, when the pressure wasn't on and they got to do what they wanted to do, they took 72 uncontested marks, 69 inside 50s and 108 handball receives. And today, those stats are all down. Uncontested marks only 13, handball receives only 19 for the quarter. They'll be the key indicators I reckon Lonigan's going to look at.
Okay, so the biggest question coming in was, do Launceston have a plan B?
Plan B.
We spoke about it for a number of weeks.
We did. We spoke about it
when
during the
they're
week.
up and about, and they're, like you say, there's a lack of pressure on them. They look, really good.
$1 million.
Yeah, they can get the ball moving really quickly, and any time that you can use the corridor and get the ball to the likes of Thorpe and Riley, you're going to score pretty well. So that's fine. But we've seen in recent weeks where their form hasn't been good and they've played good sides, that their plan A has been shut down. So what else can they do? It was good to see them sort of be able to use the wings a little bit more in the second half of that quarter. But like you say, how will the game unfold if their 45s do get shut down?
So a team comes out, Lauderdale, they kick 5 in a row, and I look down inside the forward 50. You've still got Thorpe, you've still got Riley, and you've still got Leadham sitting inside forward 50. Surely you've got to roll some of them back and just stop the bleeding for 5 minutes.
Well, it did seem to take a little bit of time for them to respond.
Like you probably take 1, 2, maybe even 3 goals, but when they start piling on 4 and 5, but look, to Launceston's credit, they did fight back, didn't they?
Well, they did, and it was some of the younger players that really stood up, and Jones and Jackson, and I thought Auckland through the ruck was terrific in the first quarter. Raleigh Kelly Mansell was excellent, and then when they got the ball forward, Dill Riley had the big vice grip going, so well done to him.
Let's get down to Booney on the boundary.
G'day guys, I've got Darren Geard, the Launceston assistant coach, with me. Darren, how'd you see that first quarter?
It was a sort of quarter that we felt as though we controlled it early, then they got a bit of momentum going, and then we sort of wrestled it back towards the end of the quarter. So, pleased to be in the position we are after they sort of kicked a few goals. So,
What do you credit the turnaround to, and what was the issue early where Lauderdale got those 5 goals pretty quickly?
I think they could have won the footy out of the middle. I think when we actually started to score, we were actually winning out of the middle. So Chase Jones in particular from stoppages.
Okay, thanks Darren. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Anything else to report down there, Booney?
Booney's done, I think.
He's done. Yeah, well, let Booney go. He's
Short and sharp from Booney.
That's it. Well, I really enjoyed that first quarter. Hilsey, standard-wise, there was some great play by both teams, and I love that play where we just rebounding from back line to forward, and those passage of players are fantastic.
Well, there's some good skill level. Beautiful day for it, obviously, but two really good teams going at it. It's gone one way, then it's gone the other, but some great skill level, and it's good to watch.
Run me through your excitement levels, Dave. I had the radio on, 103.7, 96.5, of course. Mosquito. Run me through it. The excitement levels.
Yeah, look, I'm looking forward to and of course Taryn's coming back in the next few weeks, so I'm excited there as well. So
geez, you'll be up and about.
I can't wait for the finals.
If only Jake Rice was back at Launceston, you'd have the triple header.
That's it. 6-3-39.
Oh, he loves him.
6-3-39 Lauderdale, Launceston 3-5-23. Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Kings Meadows and the Quadrant Mall. And TSL live stream today, of course. You're watching us on Facebook or YouTube.
Riley and Leadham starting deep again. Hilsey Thorpe 30 metres out in front of those two. So start of the second quarter here at Windsor Park. Lauderdale versus Launceston, 4th versus 5th. Bell Chambers gets the ball down. Franklin chips the ball 90 degrees out sideways. Comes out here, good mark taken by Reece Sutton. So one of the goal kickers. And just on those goal kickers, I think that goal was given to Ben McGuinness, not to Gilby. So we'll fix that one up, Hilsey. Oh, that's an up-the-chimney kick. Might be a bit of breeze there. Jamison House gets the set. He's spoiled by his own teammate in Denellen. Comes down to Rudder Kelly Mansell, 7th possession. Left foot, looking for Boyce. He's in this week. And he's going to get a free kick given away there by Jeremiah Perkins. So Boyce looks to hit up Thorpe. There he goes, the big Jukes. Puts him out in front. What a great contest McGuinness and Thorpe's going to be all day. Could have nearly been 50 there. One of those protected areas, Hilsey, but he's kicked a forward spinning punt, and it's been taken by Nat Franklin. Franklin comes out here and finds Karanaya. So Karanaya having a real impact, these boys from the Northern Territory. Left foot, beautiful kick, goes to McGuinness. Just stop-start footy here at the moment. Tempo footy, Lauderdale. Geez, they've changed their fortunes this year, haven't they, since Darren Winters come back into the coaching box. He finds there Launceston.
You get it, Macca.
Launceston, yes. Goes back, handball, Josh McGuinness. They're going backwards. Not going far. This one comes out here and finds Wiggins. One of those players, Wiggins, they can throw him back. They can put him forward. He'll kick goals if they need it. So Wiggins, pressure on the mark by Rudder Kelly Mansell. Goes straight down the line. Harpick's got the set. And over the back there was Bell Chambers. Is that Bell Chambers, Dave?
Yep, he's wearing a different number.
Wearing a different number. Thanks for setting me up there, boys. Could have had that written on my sheet. It's going to be a free kick to Harper, though, on just backward of centre wing. Launceston here in front of the commentary position. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, or you're watching via the TSL live stream. Oh, there's a Joby Harper special across the ground. Karanaya chops it off. Over the back, Savage. Could have been a free kick. Umpire says play on. Here's Ben McGuinness. Tackled well there by Joby Harper. The boundary umpire's going to throw it in right in front of us here. And you're going to listen to 206-game superstar St Patrick's old boys, Dave Mohr.
Thanks, Bagger.
I did hear a bit about that last week.
Did you hear a bit about that last week? This is Dave Mohr.
Huge news. Yeah, I didn't know.
Premiership player, 40-odd goals. We'll get into it later.
No, we won't. We did it last week. As it comes down towards Franklin. Auckland can't pick it up. Paul Freeman releases to Rushton, to House. Free kick back on play as House gets a high tackle. And it's came back now to Paul Freeman.
He's very humble, Dave Mohr.
He is.
Very humble.
There's a couple other scores. It's tight down at Blunston Arena. In fact, North Hobart lead 8-6 towards the end of the first quarter. Long from Paul Freeman up here towards Smith. Chance there by Bell Chambers. He takes the ball off the ground. Quick handball release to Heavey. His kick smothered. Back on it is Heavey. This way, that away. Left foot, poor. Picked up by Riley. Chance here. Smith back to Riley. Riley 60 out. Zooms in towards the attacking 50. Leadham rises high. The kick was too high. He's going to get a push in the back or over the shoulder. Free kick to Leadham.
Now, Hilsey, we mentioned, didn't we, about Leadham yesterday when we were going through the game, doing our homework as we do, you and I.
We do.
We said this is something Leadham has to do. If he's going to go forward and they're going to play Auckland, he has to take a mark and he has to kick a goal.
Well, up this end when you weren't here, Macca, he actually did lead out, take a nice mark.
Beautiful. That's what we want to see.
The kick was a little bit ruckman-like, so we're looking to see him probably go back a little bit further off his mark here and kick through the footy.
Leadham, he's about 25 out. Maybe 30 out, 45-degree angle, left-hand side of Windsor Park.
Oh, nice
beautiful kick this time. Puts it straight through the middle to Leadham. That's the fourth goal for Launceston, the first of the second quarter. 4-5-29. Lauderdale 6-3-39.
That's what you want to see.
Must have heard me.
The big ruckman. Well, I'm going to say you've never kicked a ball that straight in your life,
No, that was much better than I could do.
Other scores, scores 11 at KG5, 3-4-22 apiece between North Launceston and Glenorchy. And as I said, close on quarter time. It was North Hobart 8, Clarence 6. Might be a bit heavy conditions down there. Low
And
scoring.
over on the Big Island, Dave, it's Collingwood by 34 over North Melbourne, and Sydney Swans by 29 over the Gold Coast Suns. I think one of our former Tasmanians could be having a bit of a day out, Foz.
Brody Mychek.
Brody Mychek's got 3 goals, 1 from 5 kicks. So Brody, the former Burnie Premiership player, is having a day out at the G. This is Smith. He got the ball down from Auckland in the centre hit out. Brawler Taylor back to Dunellan, shoveling it backwards. Goes to Rundle. Rundle, centre wing, looks for Auckland, didn't put the mitts up. Ghosty. Saw someone come from behind. Not good on the video, that one. Here out on centre wing is Karanaya. So Karanaya takes it. He's got plenty of room. Him and Ruller really haven't gone near each other early on. Interesting there. Mosquito taken over the top by Dunellan. Fumbled. Shepherd's there. Tom Shepherd. There could have been a push in the back. Lauderdale through Dunellan. Umpire says play on. He's over the back through Lauderdale there. Matt McGuinness. But it's taken by Harper. He squares the ball up and finds Pulfreman on the far wing. Pulfreman comes in short. Taylor giving him a little bit up around that half-forward wing. So Taylor, brawler they call. There's that 45 kick they love. There's the one they got to stop. It's a beautiful kick to Jake Smith, centre square. Left foot Jake Smith. He's got Ruller on Karanaya. Ruller Kelly Mansell gets it. He'll go. Had to put more pressure on the mark to Karanaya. He's going to break 50. He's going to have a look at the big sticks. Ruller Kelly Mansell will be the goal of the day. I think it's there. Ruller Kelly Mansell from outside 50. What a goal. There's Launceston's 5th. They're 5-5-35. Trail Lauderdale 6-3-39. Ruller Kelly Mansell, Mitch Hills.
You'd be very happy. He's very happy with it, and why wouldn't you be?
Off half back.
What about the transition? Brendan Taylor kick, and then the little left footer from Jake Smith over the top. So that set up the goal.
Who is on Ruller? Karanaya. He just had to hold him up on the mark, didn't he? Just didn't do anything. Ruller's actually given us a little thank you very much.
Yeah, he wants
the Tassie Artificial Turf goal of the day 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I think he's up there again with that one. But great footy once again. It's one of the best games I've seen this year. I know it's we're only 6 or 7 minutes into the second quarter. It's back in the middle. Lauderdale lead by 4 points. First 2 goals of the second quarter to the Blues. Up it goes. Falls to the side of the pack. Taken here by Smith. He's having a great game. Jakey Smith, he takes a bounce. Kicks up towards half forward looking for Riley. Lovely disposal again. Riley wheels around. Goes shorty looking for Taylor. Now he might steady for a shot on goal here.
Been busy too.
All of a sudden,
now he's going short.
Slow.
And a lovely mark. I think is that Sammy Rundle?
It's him.
Rundle is marked.
Geez, they look slow, Lauderdale, all of a sudden, Hilsey.
Jesus, turn right around here. Absolutely great skill level from Launceston, moving the ball with Witches hats as defence at the moment.
So, a game of sort of 2 halves so far here. Lauderdale kicked the first 5. Now Launceston a chance to actually hit the lead here with Sam Rundle. 45 out, 45 angle. He sort of hooks that one towards the behind post. One behind. 5-6-36 to 6-3-39.
Jake Smith's an interesting one. I saw Lonigan mention during the week how much of a better season he's having. He was actually dropped last year to D-League. Things weren't going well.
Short kick to Josh McGuinness, who takes the mark. Releases the handball. I think is that Wiggins down back. He goes long.
Yeah, they've thrown
up
him
here
back.
towards Smith and Auckland. Nearly takes the mark at the front, young Auckland. Matt McGuinness is in there. Tackled over the line there is Ed Stanley to be a boundary throw in. And we're about 70 metres around from the Launceston goal.
He's an important player, Jake Smith, especially without Blackberry now.
Yeah, well, he's an athletic type, isn't he? And a good user of the football generally. He likes to get those in the past, those little sideways chips, but he looks a little like he's carrying and running, breaking the lines, which is good.
I think that might be a holding free kick there against Smith on Auckland. They've allowed the players to play on.
That time.
Paul Freeman, not a great advantage as it turned out. He's in there wrestling now with Mosquito. Out the back, here's Jackson. Picks up beautifully, does Ethan Jackson. He's got no one to give it to. Now he releases towards Rundle. Kick off a step, inside 50. Chance for the Blues once again. A bit of a wrestle there. Riley takes it. Riley, inside out, kick to space. In fact, it's going straight to Joey Boyce.
He saw him, Dave.
I did him a disservice there. I thought he was kicking to space, but it's out of the corner of his eye. Joey Boyce drifted down inside 50. He's taken the mark for our listeners. About 30 metres out,
it was
45 angle.
I thought he might have been having a shot at goal, wasn't he?
Well, he's running straight towards goal. He's done a check side.
Waste no time, Joe Boyce. It's the umpire moves a lot, and they miss an easy opportunity there. 5-7-37 Launceston, Lauderdale 6-3-39. We're across 9 minutes in this second quarter.
Kick out Wiggins.
Great kick.
Looks and finds Mosquito. Mosquito, he goes very short and finds Nick Baker, the ally. The great season under 18s. We might have a talk about him later on. One of the assistant coaches, Mitch Hills, with us. Here's Josh McGuinness, former Brisbane Lion. Comes down the line looking for Boscott out of bounds.
It's like they've swapped jumpers, boys. They're playing the absolute opposite.
They
That's
are.
what we saw in the first.
Brendan Taylor is going to take the resultant free kick. Taylor, we saw that beautiful kick last time. Oh, he finds Rundle, plays tall, takes the contested mark just outside 50. Goes inboard. Mosquito's going to chop it off. No, here comes Riley. What do you call him? The Vice.
Vice.
Could have thrown it out. Riley, Mosquito, busy in traffic. Rundle's there as well. Had a good first quarter on the stats sheet, and he's started the second quarter well. Going to be ball up right on the 50-metre line. Launceston going towards the city end here at Windsor Park. Beautiful day. Ground's a little bit heavy, but it's a lot better than it used to be back in the day. Smith gets the clearance, goes out to Boscott. He's had a couple of good weeks back in the ones as Boscott. He finds Stanley. So Ed Stanley, he's got 18 goals for the year. Stanley finds Havea. Tutai Havea.
Who are the drivers on Havea?
Oh, big drivers. Up against, he makes Harper's drivers look like little toothpicks. And not a great kick, though. And it's going to be cut off by Mundy. Mundy in defence, goes to switch. Can't find Pulfreman under pressure here.
High tackle.
I think he's given away the free kick. And it's going to be one of the McGuinness boys. They're all wearing, it's Matt McGuinness, is it, I think?
Yep.
Matt McGuinness, just to make things easy. They've got 42, 43 and 44, the McGuinness boys.
He's a left foot, a tough spot to kick right in front of the boozer over there. It's going to be a tough one. They'll be giving plenty of feedback.
Tell us about his season.
Players.
Tell us about his season, Hillsy, in the first of all the Tassie under-18s and then, of course, Allies.
Well, up and down Macca would be the best way to describe it. We'll just let him have a shot here.
Check side, Matt McGuinness, left foot, check side. I think he's kicked it, Matt McGuinness. He has. He's kicked one. So there's Lauderdale's 7th. They go along to 7-3-45. Launceston 5, 7-37. Yeah, Matt McGuinness.
And as you saw there, he's a super talent, a great kick at the football. He can go forward, can go back, even through the midfield when required. So we did play him everywhere, and maybe...
What do you like him best as?
Well, probably half back. I like the way he kicks and runs and spreads. He's an athletic type. And through the Allies, he actually had a couple of good games, probably better than what we saw during the Academy series for us. So... certainly on the draft radar, and a couple of good TSL performances like this would be handy for him.
Jeez, he's a stick, isn't he? There's not
Very
much of
thin.
him.
12 individual
very
goals.
athletic. Sorry, Dave.
Sorry, mate. 12 individual goal kickers so far at Windsor Park. It's a pulsating contest. 7-3-45 to 5-7-37. We're back in the middle. Ball's released from a tackle to Jackson. He goes the kick sideways in a one-on-one with Tom Shepherd, who's the front position up against Williams. And Tom Shepherd does well. The veteran, he takes the mark. Goes further laterally now. Over there towards Chase Jones. Jones inside 50. Ooh. Smith there. Getting a hand in pretty well was Oscar Shaw. Spinning out beautifully is Baker. That's classy. It's a 1-2 back from Josh McGuinness to Nick Baker. Kicks up towards the wing. Jamison front position on the back to Mosquito. He's going to kick further up the line here. Looking for a teammate. It's going to be close to the line. In fact, it bounces just this side. No, it's out of bounds on the full. Going to be a free kick to the Blues. Mundy wastes no time. Gets it in towards Chase Jones.
Nick Baker's got the job on Riley now, Hillsy.
It's a big job to do. He's been really good early, Riley.
Down to Jackson. It's still at half back for the Blues. Denellen must take this mark. He doesn't because it's a 1-on-2 contest. Spills out the back now towards Wiggins. In fact, that's McManus, beg your pardon. Spills now towards Ben McGuinness. Little kick. Tried to get the advantage of a teammate. Well done there in defence by Tyrrell. Goes the big kick right down the middle, but it's all Lauderdale. Mark's taken. Kick up towards attacking 50. Mosquito takes the mark, plays on. Little kick in, chance and a mark. I think that's Ed Stanley who's taken the mark for Lauderdale. As there's a group of Blues defenders sprawled over the turf there, trying to make that spoil.
Ryan Tyrrell, he went straight up the ground, didn't he? And they just had the line up. Did Lauderdale. Probably had to go a little bit wider on the 45, Tyrrell.
Oh, he didn't really look, did he? Sort of just bombed it out of there. A bit of panic stations, but really good from Mosquito to get on his bike and wheel and get the ball there to Stanley.
So it's 8-point lead to Lauderdale. They've steadied. This will be 2 in a row if Ed Stanley put it through. Former Clarence player. Kicks from 30 out, 45 degree on the right-hand side. He's hooked it a little bit, and it's just to the left. It's one behind. 7-4-46. 5-7-37. Here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport.
He's going to get another go here, isn't he, Tyrrell? So we'll see what he does. Kicks to himself. Comes near side here, commentary side. Outside 50, he's got Harper, Big Vanderveld. He's taken 1-2, give him the mark, umpire. Big Vanderveld, he's one of my favourites. He sticks the jukes up, not paid. Comes out to McManus, out the back, Stanley. Short one, comes in here, taken well there by Gilby. Oh, Mosquito, he's taken, and he's got to have a free kick, the Mosquito.
Protected the ball well in the air.
Didn't he? Chase Jones, just a little perturbed there by what it was. Jesus, not much of him either. He could be at Flemington today. Mosquito. He's an excitement machine. What's he kicked for the year, Dave? He's kicked 18, plus 1 in the first 19 for the year. Mosquito.
Does he kick it from here, Dave? Mosquito.
I'll let you call it.
Yeah, no, mate.
You call it. Go.
Mosquito, right on the boundary line. 5 metres in. Mosquito is missed to the far side. One behind. So it's 7-5-47 to 5-7-37. 10 points is the margin. And great contest. Launceston, of course, can go as high as third today, Macca. If North beat Glenorchy, they could sneak above Glenorchy, in fact.
Come on, the Pies.
As I said last week, I did my ladder predictor, and I said the Pies could be one that might slip, I think, Hilsey.
Oh.
Lauderdale can finish as high as third. I reckon Glenorchy are in the gun for that elimination final if they can't get a couple of wins. Meanwhile, the ball's gone out of side. Jackson overruns it. Probably should have taken it. Rushton in front of the interchange box. Gets rid of his opponent. It's taken by Jamison. House. Pretty good last week, House. And here's Riley. Geez, he's got the clunks on today as Riley. Looks to go left, right. Goes inside 50, finds his partner in crime. They're like Batman and Robin, aren't they?
Well,
it's
they do
Thorpe
like to find
and
each
Riley.
other, don't they?
Of course, premiership teammates, these two. Mitch Hills.
They do link up quite well. I like the look of Thorpe a little bit higher and Riley deep. It seems to work pretty well, has done in the last few weeks. He's backed himself from a really difficult position here, Macca.
Yeah, so he's going to kick from outside 50. He's about 5 metres in from the boundary. We'll hear the car horns if he kicks it.
Leadham's drifted back to the square.
Very deliberate approach. Mitch Thorpe. He's going to use all the distance he can. It's going to go right to the line, but he misses near side. And that's a behind. So 5-8-38, Launceston, great game of footy here. Lauderdale 7-5-47. Just about to tick near 15 minutes gone second quarter. You're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5 or via the TSL live stream.
Long kick out from defence here. Looking for and finding Bell Chambers. Phil Bell Chambers. He has support there. Gets a kick away to Harrison. Who kicks further up the line. For the ball is Lauderdale moving it nicely. Kick out towards half forward. Matt McGuinness in a wrestle. But Mark's taken there by Van der Velde. In fact, it was Ben McGuinness, I beg your pardon.
He's the oldest looking player I've ever seen, isn't he?
Now Ben McGuinness has encroached over the mark. So Simon Van der Velde, we marched 50 metres towards his goal. Don't forget that half time we'll have another report from KG5 from Anthony Osborne.
This is where someone needs to run past him. Jake Smith's there. Give it to Jake Smith. There he goes.
Well done. Jake Smith now will release inside 50. Keeps it low towards Thorpe, who marks. Leads out. Puts the hands out and takes it out in front. And great kick again from Jake Smith. Smart play from Van der Velde and Smith. Smith goes around again looking for it a second time. But Thorpe won't give this one up.
There was that was one of Maxie's whacks last week, Hilsey.
Oh, Maxie
was Van der Velde's kick. So I'm glad he handballed that one, the big Vanders.
Well, he's actually hit the target a few times today, the Viking.
He's been good.
Yep.
Here comes Thorpe. Kicks from right on the paint of 50. This one's going to go to the left this time. Another behind. So wasting a few opportunities here, the Blues. They've had 14 scoring shots to 12, but they trail by 8 points. 5-9-39 to 7-5-47.
Baker, those bright orange boots. Kicks well outside 50. Bell holds up a little bit. Down the front, McManus. He overshot the handball to Sutton, who didn't take it. Goes back again, does McGuinness. Over the top, Wiggins does the same, overruns it. Coming out, Jack Rush, a little redhead. Gives it over the top. Boyce, check side, right foot. Goes far side and finds Jackson. Jackson
Hines.
snaps. Hines, is it? Hines snaps and goals, Jake Hines.
And feedback. Good.
And feedback. So, they just overrun the footy a couple of times. They did Lauderdale. But it was Jake Hines on the far side, and he takes the mark and snaps it through.
Another goal kicker.
Another goal. 6-9-45 Launceston. Lauderdale 7-5-47.
That was a good mark by Hines, Hilsey.
Oh, great contested mark. He just sort of protected the space and used his body aggressively and got the reward. So, pretty good play from Launceston overall.
I'm interested. We've got a free kick back in the middle, so I'll get to what I was going to ask you in a minute, boys. So I'll ask you in advance, so you give me an answer in a second about Nick Baker's role in this game so far. As Smith kicks up towards half forward, and the mark's taken, strong mark taken there. Buys that Hines, he's back in defence now. So he's drifted up forward for that last goal. And there's another 50 metres here, and it's against Ben McGuinness again.
Oh, Ben.
As Hines tells him all about it on the way through.
Former teammates in the Mariners, Ben McGuinness and Jake Hines.
Baker's role, boys.
Oh, it's lockdown defender at the moment on Riley.
Not where we want to see him play personally, but I guess for the team, you got to do what you got to do. But he's more of that running type attacking defender. But He's got the job on the big fella here with the
They
vice.
are right now, right on cue, as it's knocked away this time by Baker from Riley. Trying to pick it up as Chase Jones low to the ground. Gets it over towards Taylor. Can he pick it up? He's up against Sutton. He gets it Taylor to Rushton. Not much time. Release the handball. Chance for a goal here for House. Oh, was the one that he should have taken. He's about 20 metres out, slightly left of centre. He's kicked it behind. 6-10-46 Launceston. Lauderdale 7-5-47. That's only the 1 point the difference.
They should be in front, boys. Should be in front.
Jared Dakin, did he play in the D-League, Dave?
Yep, he played okay.
Jeez, can you believe they dropped him, Mitch Hills?
I'm not sure of the selection
he
policy,
was awesome
mate.
last Sunday.
He's my boy. I cannot believe he's not playing. But
yeah, I could just see him there. He's busy. Here's Taylor. Speaking of busy, goes another check side. They've had a few of them this quarter of Launceston. Rushton fights hard. Mitch Thorpe out of the pack. Looks good. He's kicked at Mitch Thorpe. He's missed one left. He missed one right. And this one's gone straight through the big sticks. And look at him. He's getting them up and about, the boys.
He's pumped. He's absolutely pumped.
Second for the day, Mitch Thorpe.
I'll tell you what, just the little things in footy. Jack Rushton went in hard there, and he just made it a contest. Released the ball, and Thorpe was able to take full toll of that.
That's why they kicked 7 out of the last 9. Have
it was
Launceston.
5. Yep,
it was 5 goals to nil. It's now 7-10-52 Launceston. They lead Lauderdale 7-5-47. 19 minutes gone. Second term.
Playing with some energy now, though, aren't they? They look like they're up and about. They're aggressive. They're running on top of the ground. And
Taylor's been good. Out on this wing. Riley Kelly-Mance was getting his hands on it more. And, of course, the forwards are just causing a few issues.
In the middle, Auckland and Smith. Auckland might have just got a tap out on that one. Reece Sutton emerges, kicks round the corner. Up here towards Savage, who meets the ball with purpose. Kicks to a contest over the back of Ethan Jackson. Charging out the ball now is Thorpe. He's about 60 out. Kicks off balance. It might turn out all right. Riley's there. Oh, I think he's taken a mark. That was a gutsy mark. There was traffic coming the other way. He's taken it right about a millimetre inside the boundary line, the right-hand side of Windsor Park.
What a coaching move in the last few weeks, though. He was throwing Riley forward. They got rid of Whiting, and Riley's gone forward. He's taken Sonny's number, and once he kicked 12 in 3 weeks, he's kicked.
He's just in career best form, isn't he?
It looks more dynamic, you know, like he's really good in the air, but good on the ground.
He goes short, Hilsey, and finds Ethan Jackson, who's unattended. 15, 20 metres out from goal, slightly right of centre.
Oh, and a bit of feedback too from Jake Hines again.
So Ethan Jackson, and we might get another goal kicker here. Haven't had yet. Yes, don't think Ethan's kicked one today.
No.
So we're about 22 minutes in, so there's plenty of time left in this quarter. High scoring encounter here at Windsor Park. Ethan Jackson should convert here. Goes in towards goal, sneaks it in. That's another one of the Blues. They have a margin out now to 11 points, 8-10-58. Lauderdale 7-5-47.
AFL score, half-time, the Magpies by 45 over the Kangaroos, and Sydney Swans up by an even 2 goals against the Gold Coast Suns. So, Jesus, game on here, Hilsey. Launceston have just come from nowhere.
Well, we're looking for a bit of a response from Lauderdale. They've been.
This is the question now, isn't it?
A very ordinary quarter, and can they respond? They're still winning the ball through the midfield in the clearances, but they just cannot get the ball going forward at all. Round
the grounds in the TSL, Blunston Arena, it's the Roos by 2 over the Demons, and down at KG5, it's the Northern Bombers by 8.
And noose in the boundaries at Paul Freeman is getting treatment on the right shoulder, so we'll keep an eye on that. Thanks to Booney.
It's going to be an issue if he can't go on, Paul Freeman. Ball gets scrubbed forward by Lauderdale, but it's taken by House over to Taylor. Loved his second term. Love to see the stats. Half-time, how many brawlers had. Led to the ball, though, taken by Lauderdale. Goes over the top to Heavey, nearly slips. Takes the ball in front of the interchange box. Handball, back to Heavey. Snaps it over the shoulder. In front, Ed Stanley. Well done, Jamison House. No, the umpire said it was a little bit in it, and it's going to go to Ed Stanley. So Stanley right in front of the Launceston interchange box. They need a goal, Lauderdale. They need a response. They've only kicked 2 since their opening 5. Hands the ball off. Inside 50. Looking for Havea. The big fella puts the jukes up. Well done by Auckland. Getting in front by the ruckman. Harper. Could have gone by hand, but goes by foot. Fortunate. Oh, crashing in there was Havea. Jamison House takes them on. He's a big size, his House. He just busts the pack. And he finds Pulfreman. So good to see Pulfreman back on. A little bit of work on the shoulder. Pulfreman. Deliberate. Down the line. Looking for Leadham, who just runs over the footy. Good mark, Wiggins. Wiggins comes inside. Here's Kanaya. So Kanaya goes to Boscott. Oh, he sets him up, does the Boscott. And Thomas Mundy takes the mark on half-back for Launceston.
Haven't called his name much, Dave,
He just does his role every week, though, I think, Mundy. He's not in amongst it. Oh, he goes long. Ball goes over the top to Thorpe. Can't quite find it. Can Thorpe, good tackle, not taken. Ball comes out. Here is Boyce. Has a look at him. No, he tips the ball up. Jake Smith couldn't quite get to him. Falls short. Oh, good tackle, Lauderdale. Great tackle, Oscar Shaw. So Oscar Shaw, half-back flank.
Oscar Shaw, rewarded for that tackle. He goes sideways to his fellow young gun there in Matt McGuinness. He's at right half-back. It's a great quarter here from the Blues so far. They lead by 11 points. He goes short here looking for Baker. Not great delivery. Tyrrell's there.
He's been released too, Baker.
Tyrrell gets around on that left foot of his. Beautiful kick to Hines. That's Frey Jackson. Jackson on the right foot. Little dinky kick. Beautiful delivery towards Thorpe, who takes the mark. About 35 out. He goes around now, Thorpe. Kicks it over his shoulder. And hits the post. He jumps in the air as it struck the post there, Thorpe.
It's a kick 2-4, sorry, about 2-4, 2-3.
Yeah, they're not backing himself in on the set shot at the minute. He tends to sort of play like that when he doesn't back his abilities on the set shot.
Lauderdale just disorganised down back here. I saw him pointing fingers. Who's who? They don't know what's going on. Winter's throwing them around.
59-47 the score. Wiggins close to the boundary line. Mark taken by Donnellan.
Oh, and 50 nearly.
Yeah, it might be. He was slung over the boundary line. No, says the umpire. So Donnellan, couple of kicks out from goal right on the boundary. Spots somebody up, and that could be Jackson. He can't take the mark. Spills to the front. The big fella Smith takes it. Gets a handball away. Under pressure there was Matt McGuinness. Couldn't pick it up.
High.
It is high. It might be against Tavea there.
He just came in a little bit
sloppy.
A little bit front on contact.
That's towards Donnellan. Donnellan now is still 2 kicks out from goal. Crowded 50 in front of him. Kicks to the hot spot. Hayden Smith goes up, can't take it. Karanoi's in there. I think Hayden Smith will get a free kick here.
Yeah, well done, Hayden Smith. He actually sprinted from that last contest to get in the hole in front of Thorpe, and that's exactly what's happened.
Little handball now towards Josh McGuinness. Kicks outside his defensive 50. Ruller's in there. Front position against Havea. Falls to the front. Ruller dives on it. It's released out the back. Havea on top of it now. We've got a bit of a rugby maul happening. Donnellan emerges. Eventually, the umpire will ball it up, Macca.
Because we mentioned at quarter time, and plan A, plan B for Launceston. Have you seen a different plan, Launceston, or are they just doing their job better, what they normally do each week?
They're doing a bit of both. They're definitely playing their role a little bit better. Each player's lifted. But as the siren goes there.
There's a siren, so half-time. Yeah, we'll get back to that at half-time analysis. Launceston, 8-11-59, lead Lauderdale 7-5-47. We got the scores right. 8-11-59 Launceston, Lauderdale 7-5-47.
5 goals, 3 to Launceston that quarter. Macca to Lauderdale's 1 goal, 2. And the goal kickers for Launceston, I think we've only got 1 multiple goal kicker in the whole game, Macca.
Yeah, for Launceston, multiple goals to Mitch Thorpe. I reckon he's kicked 2-4 in this game, so he's having plenty of shots. Singles to Riley, Hines, Boyce, Leadham, Rudder Kelly Mansell, and Ethan Jackson. And for Lauderdale, all singles. Mosquito, Sutton, Boscott, Karanaya, Bell Chambers, Ben McGuinness, Matt McGuinness are all the singles.
City Park Radio Sport 103.7, 96.5. You're listening to Dave Mohr, Matthew McGee and Mitchell Hills. We'll take a short break and we're back in just a moment. We'll have Anthony Osborne from KG5 and some more analysis here from Windsor Park. The action from the Tornadoes and the Chargers. a fantastic effort there from the Tawns. They're in the finals, finishing top 4. Go up against Bendigo next week, so fantastic for them. We must get down to KG5 though, because it's either half-time or close to it. And we welcome in once again from AFL Tasmania, Anthony Osborne. G'day, mate.
G'day, Dave. Yeah, dying stages now of the second term here in the first half at KG5. Actually had a bit of a delay this quarter with Jay Foon stretched off the ground. A lengthy delay, just looked to be a big collision. Not exactly sure what actually happened, but he was in quite a bit of trouble and was ended up being stretched off the field. So it might this quarter might run a touch longer than usual. But at the moment, Glenorchy 5-4-34, trailing the Bombers 8-6-54. So North Launceston just starting to get on top after that lengthy delay a little while ago.
Sorry, Anthony, who was that player again that was taken off?
Yeah, it was Jay Foon.
Jay Foon, okay.
Dave, yeah, so we're hoping that he's okay. He was down on the ground for quite a while, and then the stretcher was called out. So,
any idea about the nature of the injury?
No, not entirely sure. It was a pretty heavy collision with quite a few players involved. It looked to be in play, so I think it might have potentially been a jarring of the neck or something like that. But I wouldn't be able to tell you exactly what happened. We'll try and get some information as the day goes on. But yeah, the halftime sirens actually just sounded here. So Glenorchy 5-4-34, trailing the Bombers 8-6-54, and yeah, obviously the major talking point out of that term is the injury to Jay Foon, and North Launceston just starting to flex their muscle in recent moments.
And 13 goals kicked, Anthony. It sounds like an entertaining contest.
Yeah, it is a pretty entertaining contest, and Glenorchy are going to this break now, ruining some ill discipline after that injury. Actually, there were 2 50-metre penalties that resulted in Bradcock's Goodyear goals from the goal square, actually, so they could easily be a lot closer, the Magpies, but some ill discipline cost them dearly as the first half went on. But yeah, certainly an entertaining contest, quite muddy in the middle of the ground as KG5 often is, but other than that, it's a pretty good day for footy.
Got some goal kickers for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So Bradcock's Goodyear, he had 2 goals at quarter time. He had 2 goals from the goal square that quarter. Now he's got 5 for the game. So he's got 5 at half time, and 2 goals to Tom Bennett, and also a single to Mark Walsh. Really tidy finish from him. And for Glenorchy, Jay Bowden has 2. John Geard has 1. Callan Daly has 1, as does Harry Parker as well.
Who's been manning up Jay Bowden, Anthony?
Yeah, it's actually been, as Jay Bowden plays, it's kind of been a team role. He's moved through the midfield end up forward as well. So he's actually had quite a few different players go to him throughout the day. When he's been in the middle, there's been a number of players that have gone to him. I think I even saw Dakota Bannister on him at one point. When he's gone up forward, it's again been a rotating cast. So not really a heavy tag being put on him so far, but I'll keep a close eye on that in the second half for you.
And maybe a couple of better players from both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. So Bradcock's good. Yeah, obviously mentioned before, he got a couple of goals, cheap goals, it must be said, from 50-metre penalties, but he's been really good, finishing really well, as he so often does. Taylor Whitford has had a fair bit of the ball, maybe not quite as prolific as other games, and Dakota Bannister has been thereabouts as well for the Bombers. Well, for Glenorchy, Jay Bowden has looked really dangerous whenever he's got near the football. He just uses the ball so well, and it certainly asked them big questions of the Bombers. And Harry Parker also up forward has been pretty threatening, but Harrison Gunther in defence has also been pretty solid. But overall, pretty even team performances from both sides, with the Bombers leading by 20 points at half-time.
Cheers, mate. Just that score again before we let you go.
Yeah, so Glenorchy 5-4-34, North Launceston 8-6-54.
Thanks, Anthony. We'll see you again. We'll talk to you again at 3/4 time.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
That's Anthony Osborne there from AFL Tasmania. We thank him for those reports there. A 20-point lead to the Bombers at half-time. Mackie, you got something there from the Lonnie Stats guys.
The Lonnie Stats. I was just questioning the Lonnie Stats because they didn't get Vandervelde down for his handball, Hilsey. So I'll go through Vandervelde's stats. 1 kick and 1 effective handball, Vandervelde. Yeah, look, individual stats, I'll go with them first.
I just might say to our listeners that we do get our stats from the Launceston Footy Club stats guys, as I just turn the effects mic down for a second. So we don't have the Lauderdale players, so apologies for our Lauderdale listeners and viewers.
No champion data, Dave?
No champion data,
no Dave Gruber today either.
Yep.
Second quarter, up till half-time, major possession winners. Riley's had 12, 8 kicks, 4 handballs, 6 marks, 1 goal, 1. Thorpe's had 8 kicks, 4 marks, 2 goals, 3 for Thorpe, including his 50th goal for the season. Now he's chalked up. Quite a quarter then for Chase Jones. He's had 10. Rundle's had 12. Taylor, he had a really good quarter. I thought he did. He had 7 for the quarter. So he's up to 11 for the game. Pulfreman's had 9. Rudder Kelly Mansell's had 8 all kicks. And also Ethan Jackson's had 8 till half-time. The interesting team stats I want to talk to you about, Hilsey, from an analysis point of view, that quarter, and the one that really stands out for me at half time in that quarter especially was contested possession. Launceston 44, the opposition 24. So they smashed them in and around the stoppages and got the ball out in the clear. And when they did, inside 50s, 14-6 for the quarter.
Well, they look like a complete turnaround from the first quarter. You couldn't say that in the first quarter with contested possession. I don't know if you got that there, but they look like
contested possessions first quarter were 29-32 down Launceston.
Yeah, so we really felt, the feeling in the game was that Lauderdale were winning in and around the contest at the coalface, and it was a complete flipper around in that quarter. So they were able to get the ball inside 50 and give their really dangerous forwards an opportunity. But I just think that Lauderdale came out and really swapped their game style. They went, I don't know how, the breeze doesn't look super strong, and they really went stop-start.
They didn't they? Yeah.
They felt slow, and they weren't able to get the ball past halfway easy at all. In the first quarter, they were doing what they pleased. So if the game continues as we've just seen, we'll see Launceston run out easy victors. But we're really looking for a response. A couple of undisciplined things sort of creeping in there with Lauderdale, so we hope we don't see anything, from last year that we saw in the grand final. So that's a big question going into the second half.
So maybe just a couple of better players for both sides so far, Hillsy?
Yeah, I thought Brawler, Brendan Taylor, was actually terrific in both quarters, but specifically that he set them alight in that quarter.
Him and Jake Smith that quarter, both of them got a lot of footy
Jake
on the
Smith's
outside,
been a good
didn't
link player, and I really think Hines has done, I haven't seen a heap from him this year, but he seems to have bobbed up and done some really important things, and I've liked the look of Thorpe playing a little bit higher. He got really into the game in that second quarter, and looks like he's setting him up when he comes up nice and high. And Ruller in that new role across half back sort of wing, he's really elusive and gets a lot of the ball, and he uses it really well. So
and kicked a great goal, didn't he?
And he engaged with us as well, which is good to see. He gave us a little bit up here in the commentary box. So I like that.
Interesting though, it was all Launceston that caught. Okay, what'll Lonnie do? What does Darren Winter do now, Dave?
Well, I've just got a report from Craig Boone.
Oh, what a segue.
That's right. Everyone has been ordered out of the Lauderdale rooms. That includes non-essential staff, D-League players, etc. So
windy.
I think he'll be laying down the law there at halftime, because they really did that 5-goal lead slip. We've got some been getting messages from Adelaide.
It's Jeff Foley, the great Axel Foley's over there. His son Sam is in the under-15 stateside, which kick underway next year. Big Wolf next week.
Let's talk about that. We've got a few minutes before we resume into the third quarter. Hillsy, you've been involved with the junior programs, and they're coming to an end. We've seen the under-16s wrap up, the Mariners, the Allies, etc. We've still got the under-15s, obviously. As far as underage footy is concerned this year, how have you seen the year in Tasmanian footy?
Yeah, well, I guess coming off a couple of lean years in terms of guys drafted, and our results at under 18s, 17s and 16s haven't been as good as we'd like. This year's been one of the best years we've ever had. Obviously we haven't gone to the draft yet, but things are looking really promising. You see out here today a number of really talented young players coming through both sides, playing at a really high level here today as well. So things are looking good for the end of this year in terms of our 18-year-olds and moving on to the AFL. Let's hopefully hope we get as many drafted as possible. But also under 17s, they won one of their games, and the under 16s followed by winning their national championships as well, winning 2 out of their 3 games in a really positive performance. We had a couple of boys in the All-Australian teams, which was announced during the week.
What about North Hobart boys? They named 5 under-16 boys to play senior footy today. All come from that under-16 game.
Yeah, well,
5 16-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean they've got a young list. They've certainly got a young list, and they've got a talented young list. But I guess they need that support around them. We've seen them sort of struggle with it at the senior level this year. But got a number of really good players through their junior program. But I think it's been really positive signs for our program moving forward, our state academy. Obviously, things change a little bit in the future with a potential TAC Cup coming in, a side coming in next year, a more full-time program. Yeah,
so just to update on that, Ilsey, I see Matthew Armstrong will look after the south. Darren Trevina's been confirmed here in Launceston.
Yes.
And we're still looking for someone up the northwest.
Yeah, so they're your regional talent managers.
And also a new position that had been advertised for this week. I saw a football manager. So it'll be a manager of football day for all programs, including the Devils in the future and also the TAC side. So another position above that. So good investment in those roles.
Well, I think so. It's a big job, isn't it? But I think people say, so why do you spend money on all these? But we've really lacked that, to be honest. Like, if I'm a coach on the ground, from week to week, but we've really, I guess, lacked a little bit of direction about who's doing what, where and when. So we really need that, and we need to engage with our young guys who are performing at a high level on the big stage, what we've seen this year. So things are looking promising. It's a bright future for our young guys to be a part of AFL footy and get to the highest level, and we think we can give them a pathway through our academy program here in Tasmania.
Macca just mentioned those under-16 kids. They might be working a bit of magic down there, Macca,
because the score.
It's half-time. It's close to half-time. It's the Demons 4-3-27, leading in accurate clearance 2-13-25. And as we just heard before, it's the Bombers by 20 points at half-time. Hilsey, with the guys you work with, the Mariners and the Allies guys, what are the biggest things you have to work on with young players at that age? Or are there different things for different kids? Or is there something in general you need to work on? Is it their defensive game?
No, not really. No, From my point of view, it's sort of just developing their strengths a little bit. Yep. Okay, they play within a framework, but we've sort of changed the focus about having to be an expert at everything. But we want them to enjoy their time. They've got the natural talent. That's why they're in the program. It's about harnessing that and showing off your talents at the highest level. And they've been able to play with a lot of freedom, is what we've seen in the last 2 years, and that's really come to fruition with them performing on the big stage and making allies and performing at a high level there as well. So I think it's been a good environment to be in. It's about just making sure the environment they're in from week to week is professional and really striving to be better every session. So that's what we're all about.
One of the key things that's come out this week is the AFL rules change. I heard you boys allude to it early on in the call about, especially in regards to the starting positions and the zones. Hilsey, you're a coach that's coached in that environment for the last couple of years in the TAC Cup. Do you think it would change the AFL game at the top level that much? Or, we see a lot of positives, we see a lot of negatives from some people just because it's going to be changed. But as I said, what have you noticed at the TAC level, at the Mariners level, in regards to those starting positions in the anti-density rule?
Well, I think it allows you to see the players perform their role a little bit better. So, from an underage point of view, I think it's been terrific. I think everyone agrees with that. Being able to push that into the AFL level, I think you've just, I think you saw during the week, a lot of coaches mentioned that you've just got to be careful about the changes that you make. You can't go from one extreme to the other. So they've got to be tested, trialled, and see if they do work. And I certainly think the zone one, especially, anti-density rule is what we play at underage level. So that's a potential one that we could bring into the AFL, and I actually like the idea of it. Just I don't mind it. We've seen here today at TSL level, it's been a little bit of a scrum at times, Dave, especially early in the game there. So it does open it up and allow guys to play with their talent a little bit more.
Interesting. Hawthorn did the first trial that Eddie had under the roof there, and they played sort of a scratch match, and for half of it they did it with the anti-density rule starting positions, and then they said, righto, let's play like you normally would. And they said the people watching, it was like chalk and cheese, watching two completely different games.
And did you get any feedback about what the club thought about it, or not?
I think the players like Isaac Smith and runners and that all like it, and I suppose those young forwards we've seen them come through like Paddy McCartan and Josh Shackey. They've come through the under-18s and dominated because they've been one-on-one and haven't had blokes piling over the top of them. So I think it'd be good. My only issue is imagine if you came here today, there was a massive gale blowing towards the city end of the ground. What happens to the five players that are this end of the ground? I think you get a little bit stale.
For an AFL point of view, though, I suppose you don't get a lot of wind advantage these days. You're playing a lot of stadiums.
Unless you're at Bellerive or Utah Stadium, Tassie games.
Traeger Park. NWFL halftime scores. We've got East Devonport 1-3-9 trailing Wynyard 8-12-60. Burnie 10-12-72 lead Latrobe 3-4-22. Circular Head Giants 8-6-54 lead Devonport 4-10-34, and Ulverston 10-5-65 lead Penguin 1-7-13. And in the SFL at half time, I've got a couple of scores here. Claremont 7-6-48, Hobart 4-5-29, and the Huonville Lions having a good year 8-7-55 lead Sorrel 2-2-14. So there's some half time scores.
Pleased to see the SFL players turned up this week to play for their clubs, Dave.
Oh yes, we talked about that last week.
Oh, there's a little mini Hilsey hammer.
Yes.
Mercury Cup here today, it was Launceston 20-22-142, defeated Launceston 6-38. Okay, we better set the scene for the second half. We'll have Booney coming across in the moment. He's
been locked out.
He won't have got to the Lauderdale runes.
Been locked out,
he might have got into the Lonnie runes, but we'll sort of set the scene again. I mean, we're talking a lot about Launceston. We're talking them up, but they don't lead by that much. So, it's pretty an even contest going into the second half.
Yeah, you just reset, don't you, Hills? You go back to the start, and you mentioned Lauderdale just came out at the start of that second quarter, and I think I mentioned in the call, they're just chipping the ball around, going really slow. But what you saw in that first 10 minutes, it was just go, go, go.
Well, some small adjustments just need to be made. I don't know, but they kind of looked a little bit disinterested there in parts of that quarter where they just weren't playing with the same vigour they did in the first. So just go back to basics, go back to what you were doing to win the game. And obviously Launceston's efforts have lifted a little bit and they're playing the style they want to play. So, you've got to be a bit harder to play against. And I'm sure that's what Darren Winter would have the doors locked saying to his players.
I think it's just offensively they had to just work things out there. They were trying to, we saw Baker play down back, then he was moved, then he was put back, then he was moved. Wiggins doesn't sort of know what his role is down there. He's swapping players. Josh McGuinness is probably the common factor. He just needs to take his role down there.
We've got Booney down on the boundary line as Launceston just have come back on the ground. Booney, what do you got for us?
G'day guys, I've got Darren Geed, Launceston assistant coach, with me again at half time. He's been good enough to give us some time. So, Darren, I imagine you must be pretty happy with that second quarter.
Yeah, certainly. We made the most of opportunities, I think, and really a very good defensive ability. We have to shut them down and really set up our drive.
Certainly seem to have a lot of scoring options, which is something I noticed last week as well, the scoring shared around. Has that been a bit of a focus, or is that just the way the games have panned out?
I think this is the way that probably pans out. Like, we've probably changed a little bit of our structure there with Jay Pines going into a forward role as well. So, look, it's multiple options and having that extra tool down there.
And anything you're particularly looking for in this third quarter?
Just drive through to the top of defensively and basically get a little bit straight out of the
There's a few easy ones missed, so a bit more scoreboard pressure. Okay, thanks for your time, Darren. Appreciate it. And just quick. Oh, sorry, guys. I was just going to say just quickly before we go, Lauderdale went in behind closed doors, sending out even their supporters as well. So, got no news from there. Obviously, I think you can take it from that Darren Winter wasn't a happy man with that second quarter. But, it'll be interesting to see how they come out in the third quarter.
Bernie, talk to us about the breeze down there, because we're up here in the box and doesn't seem to be that strong. What's your impression down on the ground?
Very little to speak of, actually, Dave. No, it's a bit of a zephyr. There's certainly no particular advantage to the end of the ground where the goals are being kicked. I think it's just the way that the game's panned out.
And looking at the surface of the ground, you've walked across it. Looks like it's held up pretty well considering the rain we've had during the week.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good call. Yeah, considering how much we've had, I'd say it's pretty good. When I first walked over it before the game, I thought it's going to be pretty heavy by the fourth quarter. But walking over it again now, I don't know whether the bit of sun's helped dry it out with the players running over. But actually, it doesn't feel any different now to what it did before the game. It's holding up really well.
Now, you mentioned Brady Porferman was getting some work done on the shoulder.
Sorry, go again. That was right over the siren there.
Sorry, mate. You mentioned that Brady Porferman was getting some work done on his shoulder during that second quarter.
He was, yeah. He just looked to be in a little bit of discomfort. Nothing major, I'd say, but he was getting it looked at by the trainer and doing a few exercises. He did come back on after that, so hopefully it's okay. I'd say he probably just had a bit of a collision at some point and has jarred it a bit. Didn't look to be worrying him unduly, but just a little bit of discomfort. So I'll keep an eye on it, but I think he'd hopefully be right to keep going.
Thanks, Booney. We better let you get back around the other side of the ground. We'll talk to you again at three-quarter time.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
That's Craig Boone for City Park Radio Sport. As we're about to resume the third quarter, I haven't said the score for a while. At Launceston 8-11-59, lead Lauderdale 7-5-47, so a 12-point margin. Mac, a bit of an upset there at SCG, I see.
Oh, the SCG, the Dave Mohr-led Gold Coast Suns are a goal up in front of the Sydney Swans, and Collingwood are 50 points up against the Kangas at the MCG. They're the real deal, the Pies. Hilsey,
they are.
You got a little link to the Pies these days. You've lifted them.
Yeah, I think they're going all right this year.
The
so
black and the white. Happens, Brody Myercheck with 3, Jordan DeGoey with 3.
Just the other TSL scores we've got. North Hobart last time we saw led Clarence by 2 points, and Northern Bombers by 20 points over Glenorchy.
Come on, Pies.
Here we go. No bias in this commentary team. As Macca grabs the binoculars, we're about to start the second half here. It's the match of the round. It's 4th versus 5th. It's a lot at stake for these two clubs. Thanks to our sponsor Andrew Doyle, the Telstra stores at Kings Meadows and the Quadrant Mall. Here's Macca McGee.
Third quarter, round 17 TSL action. Hayden Smith, Tim Auckland, the experience versus the youth. Ball comes down here Lauderdale's way, but it's cut off by Joby Harper, centre half back. So Harper, we've seen him having kicked the ball that well today. That one's not too bad. Looks for Rundle up against Baker. Rundle gets rid of Baker. Rundle goes inside. Umpire said that's free kick as his P's gone in the whistle, Nick. The umpire down there, Nick Butler. And it's going to be a free kick to Rundle. Just copped a little one high. It's probably a good result for Launceston because Auckland's kick wasn't going far. So Auckland's pushed forward. Here it goes. He's going to look for Auckland. It's going to be cut off and taken there by Bell Chambers. So Bell Chambers, half-back flank, Lauderdale. They trail by 8 points. McManus. Here's a 45. It's going to be cut off by Chase Jones, the young superstar. Inside 50, little up and under. Here's Leadham looking to jump. He does so. Comes down the front to Harper. He's pushed up. Smith gets it over. Could have been taken high was McGuinness. That's the Ben variety. And Ben McGuinness taken high. It's going to be a free kick. Half-back flank. 50 metres. 50 metres against Harper. The umpire, you can nearly hear him on the effects mic, explaining to Harper, he's not quite sure, Big Job. It's going to be another 50. We've seen...
What is the 50 for?
I don't know.
I think it might have been a back chat, guys. I don't think it was getting into the area or anything. I think it was...
So Ben McGuinness is going to get the resultant free kick. Harper's still not trying to understand. I think he just put his hands up then to see how big his head was, but...
Great size head.
He got the width of it. See him put the two hands up?
Yes.
Ben McGuinness goes short, finds Baker. Baker been released from that lockdown key defender. Not the prettiest of kicks. Goes forward, Chase Jones. Taken over the top by Mundy by hand. As far away from us as they can get. Goes back to Taylor. Here over the top, Mundy. Tries to sneak a kick through, close to out of bounds.
Phil Boss got absolutely no impact at this stage.
Yeah, an early goal, Hillsy, but we haven't seen him much since then at all.
No.
So boundary throw in. I was going to throw to you, David. That'd be mean, so I'll keep the binoculars on.
Yep.
Boundary umpire throws it in just outside the forward 50 for Lauderdale. Ben McGuinness up in the ruck with Auckland. Palms it down near side. Taken in there by Stanley, and it's going to be a secondary ball up. And you're listening to City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5, or via the TSL live stream. And this is Dave Mohr calling the action.
Auckland gets a quick kick out for the Blues to advantage. Thorpe does beautifully, picks it up one-handed, spins, breaks a tackle, kicks to half forward. Hines from behind, it's strong mark. Oscar Shaw in front. Impressed with this young man today.
He's had a good game, hasn't he, so far?
Yep, he goes sideways to Josh McGuinness. Marks in front of the Lonnie interchange area. He goes short, tries to pinpoint and does. Nat Franklin releasing handball. Now to Nick Baker. He goes through, runs his full measure as Nick Baker keeps it low. Intercepted by Vanderveld. Vanderveld's going to go wide. Penetrating kick up here towards Hines. 1 against 3. He's sandwiched. He does manage to knock the ball out here towards Jones. To Shepherd under pressure. Fumbles. Doesn't help his cause. Gets it over the top now. Here's Ruller. A bit further up the ground. Spins around and goes short to Harper. JB Harper can set something up here. Oh, we might have another 50 here. Yep.
Against
McManus. We've seen a few of these today, boys.
It was against Franklin.
Area.
For being inside the protected area.
Yep.
Even though he's running away from the act, it's an atrocious rule.
Terrible.
The way it's like he wasn't causing any issues and he was just running through because the mark's taken. What are you meant to do? You can't stop because then it looks worse.
He did what he had to do. He ran away.
He ran away from
still
it.
a 50.
Yep.
That's a goal.
Yep.
Although Jovi's kicking, so I'm not sure.
The upshot is it's Harper from 30 out directly in front. Kicks it straight through the middle from that 50-metre penalty. Joby Harper has taken full toll. First goal of the second half. 9-11-65 to Lauderdale 7-5-47. 18-point lead.
It's amazing how interpretations filter down from the Big Island, don't they? The AFL, the umpires watch it, they see it, they hear it. And I just don't know what Nat Franklin was meant to do then. I'd love the umpire's advisor to come and tell me because I honestly don't know what's he meant to do. Is he meant to just bolt like...
Well, if he's already in the area and he's trying to get away from the area, it should not be a 50. But if he is outside the area and comes in and tries to get out, then it can be a 50. So, I don't know.
No, well, he didn't come into the area.
Well, I didn't think so either. So.
No. Anyway, ball up, centre. It's going to be a right on the edge. Could have been called back, wasn't. Rundle kicks the ball out off the ground. Here's Bell Chambers. Tries to go left. He's caught Bell Chambers. He's held up, though. Goes to Sutton. He goes left, goes right, looks centre square. They own it at the moment, don't they, the centre square, Launceston?
Owning the ground, don't
they? This is Ethan Jackson. He's taken the intercept. Jackson, umpire's whistle goes. Umpires thought it was going to be another one. Tyrrell, inside 50. Hines sets. Front of the pack, Thorpe roving. Uncharacteristic, gets a kick forward. It's going to bounce far side through for no score. It's going to go out of bounds left side. So Launceston 9-11-65 lead Lauderdale 7-5-47 after Lauderdale kicked the first 5 goals of the game. It's been 2 goals to 9 since then. As you can hear the youngsters, good to see a good crowd here today. The Oz kickers, they were out and about early on, so that was good there at half time. Oh, it's a good palm down from Leadham to Pulfreman. Not much on it, taken at the front. Could have been a free kick. Thorpe gets another snap at it. Can't take it. Hines, defensive tackles, caught him. Umpire circling is going to be balled up just outside the centre. The goal square here at Windsor Park, Launceston end of the ground. This is a tricky situation for Lauderdale. They can't afford another one. Comes down, here's Thorpe again. He's going to have a third try. This one's gone up and under again. Not 15 play on, the umpire says. Lauderdale would love the ball to go through for a behind, and it does. They get a chance to reset. And Ryan Wiggins is going to take the kick out for Lauderdale as they trail. 7-5, 47 to 9-12, 66.
Hello there. Got some visitors waving there.
Just your fans, Dave.
They're all Ryan Wiggins.
Ladies.
That's it. Kicks long out of defence. Oh, that's a rising eye there.
6-game premiership player.
I think they recognised him from back in the day.
JB Harper kicks inside 50 towards Hines. Over the back is Riley again. Short. Tries to release Smith. He'll take the mark in kicking range. He'll be about 40 out, and they just can't break the defensive 50 at the moment, boys.
Well, they haven't been able to break the half for a couple of quarters. They're really struggling to move the ball now, Lauderdale. The defensive setup or structures of Launceston have been really effective.
That's Jake Smith. He's had a good game today. Good season, Jake Smith. Building into it. 12's the ball in his hands. A bit of a skip. Into goal. Jake Smith, no mistake at all. Umpire barely moves. And they get round Jake Smith as he kicks Launceston's 10th goal. 10-12-72. Lauderdale 7-5-47. And we first saw Jake Smith Macca back in 2013, the first year we did these games. He was just a young 18-year-old up against, in the finals that year, and he's really starting to blossom. He's only young.
He was one that came through the St Patrick's College football factory, led by Mitch Hills up there, wasn't he?
He was.
Jake Smith.
A super athletic young player, and he's had a good career. He probably sort of had a better year this year than he's had before, I would imagine. 2013, big year in the TSL that year.
Yes.
Who won that year?
Sure.
Oh. Ball up, centre square. Auckland comes down to Rundle, left foot, been good today. Rundle showing his experience. He was one that really lifted. Good mark though, taken in the back half by Lauderdale.
Jeremiah Perkins,
number 45. Comes out wide. Good kick. Finds Lamich. Mitz. We'll go with that.
You got worse.
Call him Lowy. Lowy down the line. Punched over there, over the top of Vanderveld was savage. So Lauderdale, they have to respond. All of a sudden they see themselves, nearly 24 points behind. Geez, 4 goals. You can't see it happening at the moment, can you, Hilsey? What a transformation this game's taken.
Oh, yeah, totally different.
Boundary throw in. Auckland. I'm asking you about how you see his role at the moment. Auckland, Mosquito. Out of the pack by Hands. They're just fumbling the footy at the moment. Comes out Lauderdale. Kick for Leo Harrison out of bounds. They just cannot get any flow, anything going around that footy. The contested possessions we spoke about at half-time. Launceston smashed them in the second quarter. Looks to be the same again. So Denellen come back into the side last week. Late inclusion, and he held his spot. Up and over the back was Riley. Thinks he's a big super forward now, doesn't he? Big Riley tried to take a hanger. House to Jackson. Bernie combined. Back to House. Comes through. Not going very far. Nick Baker holds him up. Comes through the pack now. Does Baker. It's not going very far at all. Auckland. Left and right. Good hands. Auckland. Tyrrell. Gets a little bit of yardage forward. Here's Riley. Taken out of the contest. Umpire says play on. Thorpe just trails in there. Lauderdale. Ryan Wiggins. Comes over the top. Back to Thorpe. Hands. Rushton fumbles. So not a great bit of play here at the moment. Nat Franklin down the line, interchange side of the ground. Ben McGuinness taps it forward. Good tap on.
Good contest, wasn't it?
Here it is. Stanley breaks the 50, looks towards goal. Mosquito can't take it. Ball goes. Havea, was it? Havea. I don't know how I got the size difference wrong. One weighs about 95 kegs, the other one's 45, so my apologies. And that's a behind. I'll tell you what, that's Lauderdale's first score for quite a while, Dave. I don't know if you can tell me.
First score for the quarter, at least.
Since the 9-minute mark, is it? 9-minute mark of the second quarter, I think, is their score. Good mark, Chase Jones. Chase Jones gets the kick in. Mark. Quite a second quarter. Started the game well with lots of clearances. Here's the kick. Tries to cut it off. Over the top, Smith. Umpire says play on. Could have been over the top. Rushton. Well done, McGuinness. That's Ben. Goes to Matt McGuinness, his brother. Here's Josh McGuinness. So McGuinness. 42, 43, 44. Josh McGuinness goes down the line. Just can't link up at the moment, though. No marks.
There's no fluent patterns of play at all coming from Lauderdale. It's all hacking it forward and just trying to get it forward wherever they can. It's not working at the moment.
So
it was good to see McGuinness, though.
7-6-48, Lauderdale trail, Launceston 10-12-72.
We're well in now to this third quarter, about 11 minutes in. Boundary throw in on the half-forward flank. Lead him there with Smith. Well sharked by Franklin. Kicks towards attacking 50. Bit of a chaos ball. Right on the attacking 50 for Lauderdale. Players over the ball. Umpire letting it go a long time. And he'll ball it up eventually.
I'm getting feedback here, Hillsy, that Dave Mohr's football career is something that needs to be delved into even more.
Oh, really?
They are loving it.
Oh, the fans.
Yep. They remember the days back against Exeter when he kicked 4.
Here's Jake Smith emerging from the pack. Dummies the handball. Then goes to Rushton, who fumbles. Second opportunity. Left foot kick towards half forward towards Jackson. Can't pick it up. Good work in there from Ben McGuinness, who's down back. Boyce takes it. He's tackled by 2. One of those is Robbie McManus. He can't escape. The ball up on attacking 50. 7-6-48 Lauderdale. Launceston 10-12-72. Might get some around the grounds in the TSL in a second, Macca, if you can help the app there. See what's happening. Might be a couple of upsets there in the offing, especially at Launceston Arena. Out comes McManus, kick smothered by Taylor. Ricochet falls to Jackson. Can't pick it up. Ruller takes it on the second grab. Zooms up towards attacking 50. Kicks inside. Looking for Thorpe, and Riley's there as well. Thorpe takes it. Off to Rushton. Nice little kick here towards Boyce. Turns straight away. Kick to the goal square. Jamison House. No, it's Jake Hines, sorry. Jake Hines boots it out of Windsor Park. And that's his second goal of the afternoon. And it's the 11th for Launceston. 11-12-78. To 7-6-48, and they worked it well forward there, Hillsy.
Yeah, it was pretty smart from Joey Boyce. He knew he had a couple on, and he had to go quickly. He just tapped it over, kicked it over the top, and a good goal there to Hines. So good team play.
Just hard work, wasn't it? Just hard work. Rushton and Boyce, and they just get the ball forward. And I think one of the moves they said, they moved Hines forward, and he's been pretty good since halfway through the first. Around the grounds, Blunston Arena. What's that? 2-goal lead to the Kangaroos down there, the Roos, Clarence. And it's a 28-point lead to the Northern Bombers against Hillsy's Pies at KG5.
Lift. Back in the middle.
Baker gives it across to Stanley. Left foot. Goes down the line. Can't find his teammate there in Bell Chambers. Here's Thor Boscott. They need a lift from the mighty Thor. Oh, excellent rundown by Mundy. Been impressed with his defensive game across half-back. He just defends number 1, and that's his job, and that's what he does. Here's Leadham in the middle, the co-captain. Oh, look here. They're lining up. It's Smith. You could go over the top to Chase Jones. So Chase Jones, the potential draftee. Watch this kick inside 50. It's a beauty. To Riley, sets himself. Can't take it. Riley beats him on the ground. Take it in the tackle, holding the footy. Oh, it had all the lead up. I thought he was going to fly. McManus, no, Wiggins. I was right the first time. McManus over the top to Baker. Baker.
Oh, dear.
Terrible. Over to Josh McGuinness under pressure. Thorpe gives it to Chase Jones. Put down the glasses. Chase Jones. Chase Jones. He just pounced on the footy from Thorpe. And, oh dear, Nick Baker. You won't like to look at that one, you and Josh McGuinness on take, because that was a blunder on all blunders.
Well, they continue to put the pressure on, Hillsy.
Well, their forward pressure's been a key, hasn't it? It's been pivotal. They're sort of changing their fortunes in this game. So everyone seems to have lifted and played their role, and the forwards are putting on immense pressure, which is good.
Has this been part of Sam Lonigan's master plan? He copped a bit of heat for all the changes and all the throwing around the team. Is this the master plan to come up with this combination that's going to take them into the finals?
Well, I don't know if you can plan that, but
the combination is the thing, though. He's got to find the right 22, and it could be a horses for courses type thing come finals time.
Well, he certainly flipped them around, so he's just starting to find what their best formula. And,
he's playing the two tools, Auckland back.
Havea into the ruck now. There's a kicking free kick, might be against...
in the ruck, ruck to Havea.
Yeah, karate kick.
As it goes down to Taylor. Uses his pace to get away. Low kick to Riley. Clears both him and Oscar Shaw. Riley with the recovery. One-handed pick-up. Little handball to Thorpe, if you don't mind. Thorpe round the corner for a goal.
Well,
what great football from the Blues. How was the pick up there and the handball release?
Dylan Riley.
Dylan Riley is in the form of his life. 13-12-90 to 7-6-48 here at Windsor Park.
Wow.
2013, he was pretty good also, but he's been good here today. That was
he finished runner-up
impressive.
in an Alistair Lynch medal, didn't he, Dylan Riley?
They're just running on confidence at the moment, Hillsy.
Oh, they're playing terrific football. That was great to watch. I mean, that delivery was good, and then that pick up from Riley, the sharp handball. Thorpe is licking his lips there.
You've got to continue with Auckland Leadham, don't you, in the side? It's just changed the dynamics a bit. Gives Leadham a bit of a chop out. He can go forward and gives the youngster a go in Auckland. So he's your boy, Hillsy. Happy to see him in the ones.
I am. He's had a bit of a stop-start. He's played everywhere.
Did you get much feedback on his SANFL stuff?
I haven't really seen him in the last couple of weeks, but he has a stint in, at the Adelaide Crows Central side.
It's got to be good though, doesn't it?
Well, it has to be. I think
be
more
good for
experience, exposure for him. So he seems to be playing a great game today. His ruck stuff's been terrific.
Secondary ball up, centre of the ground. Havea up against Auckland. Comes down to Franklin. Nice kick. They just got nothing forward though. Here's Boscott beating the ball by Mundy. Comes over the top. Boscott tries to double up. Comes out of the pack. Chase Jones looking forward. Hines can't take it. Oh, running for the ball hard was Pulfram, and he takes his player on. In fact, he was too keen, and it's going to be a free kick. Bell Chambers, slow motion, out of the pack. He's found one on his own, and he takes the mark, Ed Stanley. So Ed Stanley looks to kick Lauderdale's first goal, Dave.
For the second half,
For the second half. They only kicked one in the second quarter. So they've only kicked, they kicked the first 5, and Ed Stanley's going to line up for their 8th goal. Well, to say they need this, Launceston's polled on 13. We say now if you can get to 100 points, you're having a pretty good game, whereas they're 13-12-90 already, Launceston. Ed Stanley lines up, 35 metres out, 10 metres in from the boundary. Deliberate approach, city end of the ground. I think he's missed near side, and that's a point. 7-7-49 Lauderdale, they trail Launceston 13-12-90.
Kick out from fullback. Looks like Thomas Mundy. He kicks to himself. He's going to go the far side of Windsor Park. Does so now. Out here towards Van der Velde. There's a free kick in the contest. It's going to go, I think, to Tim Auckland. Receives the ball now.
I like his running this quarter, Auckland.
Keeps it low up here. Nice kick. Gives it to Donnellan. Handball released to Rundle, who gets around a couple. Rundle kicks up towards half forward, but a good mark in front there by Jacob Gilby in front of Hines. And he relieved the pressure for Lauderdale. Goes straight away. Inside and finds McManus. Wheels and goes. Gets around an opponent who slips over. Kicks up towards half forward. 1-on-1 contest. Falls to the back. Chance here for Boscott. Little kick towards Mosquito. Back to Boscott. Tackled by Van der Velde.
Oh, good tackle.
Great tackle. It's a free kick, and it's been released now by Mundy. Out towards Taylor. Got a bit of time. Goes short to Smith, who takes the overhead mark. And he'll steady things down in the middle of Windsor Park.
Talk about
prolific, isn't he?
Talk about 2013. I think this time 5 years ago that St Pat's actually won the state final with a Jake Smith and a Brendan Taylor and also the College Asney boys in the side, Hillsy.
Decent side.
Joey Boyce gets the kick from Riley right on centre half forward. 50 metres out. Joey Boyce kicks it high and long. Thorpe up against McGuinness. He comes crunching through to Thorpe. Nearly gets it off his bootlace to take the mark. Can't do so. Rushton. Umpire finds a free kick. It's going to go Lauderdale's way. Speaking of the College Asneys, great to see Cade College Asney back for the Suns today.
First game back, and looks like he's getting plenty of the ball there.
He's had a terrible go with concussions and injuries and the like. So, great effort, Cade College Asney, one of Launceston's former players. The umpire is now going to pay it downfield, and it's going to go as a free kick outside 50, and it's going to be a free kick to Ben McGuinness. So, didn't see what that one's for. Maybe against Auckland. McGuinness gives it over to Baker. Baker goes out wide in front of the interchange box. Couldn't find his teammate out there. Comes over the top. Here's Pulframan. He's taken the ball out of bounds just as he got the handball away. It's going to be thrown in front of the Lauderdale box. You're listening to City Park Radio, 103.7, 96.5. Listening to all the TSL action from round 17, bringing you all the scores. The score here, Launceston 13-12-90, lead Lauderdale 7-7-49.
Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Quadrant Mall and Kings Meadows. Tap out comes out to Nick Baker, who's tackled. Releases handball, only goes as far as Smith. Back to Baker. Baker's tackled by House. Hayden Smith's in there, so's McManus and Jackson for the Blues. Little knockout now comes to Reece Sutton. Kicks quickly up towards the forward line for Lauderdale. Thomas Mundy, very efficient across half-back. Little kick looking for Tom Shepherd. And he takes the mark. Defensive side of the wing. He's got a runner, and that's Mundy. He slips over, but manages to regain his feet and take the mark. They're not in any hurry, the Blues. They lead by 41 points. He goes wide. Taking the mark on the far side is Rundle, like his game today. Sammy Rundle up towards Thorpe. Ball knocked away by Hayden Smith. Former teammates. No, they weren't actually. No. Of course they weren't.
Speaking of St Pat's old boys, Dave, a result close to your heart. St Pat's reserves today won 43-12, 270, defeated Uni Mowbray 0.
Oh dear. Oh. No good for the Eagles there. Not having a good season.
Half a dozen players having to double up too, so not great for the NTFA Uni Mowbray side.
It's over the back. Clears Hayden Smith. He gets the follow up. Gets it to Bell Chambers. Over towards Gilby. Whistle on play. Play on as Heavey takes it. Up towards half forward and finds Boscott. He might be just in range, Thor. He wheels around now. He's invited to play on. He gets around nicely. Shot on goal, Thor Boscott. Not bad. Hits the post.
Just cannot get a goal.
Nah.
7-8-50 Lauderdale. Launceston 13-12-90. 40 points. Macca.
Kick out, Launceston. Looking way down there. It's going to be Rulla Kelly Mansell. Rulla had a good second quarter. Great goal. This one plays onto himself, put himself under a bit of pressure, goes up. Here's Baker, good punch from behind on Van der Veld. Chase Jones, left foot. Quick. Out looking for Leadham, over the top. Jackson gets it, clean hands, well done. Pulfreman out the back. Gives it to Rundle, who's beset upon. Umpire circling, said, you're gone, Sammy Rundle. You had enough time. You took him on. It wasn't a great handball out the back. Put himself under a lot of pressure. And it's going to be Jacob Gilby, the former Gold Coast son. So Jacob Gilby, son of Hobart Premiership player Steve Gilby, goes inside 50, looking for his teammate, but only goes as far as Mundy. That was Boscott. Tyrrell over to Smith. Smith by hand to Tom Shepherd. Oh, they're combining beautifully, Launceston. Tyrrell, another up and under kick. Not great. Going to be a free kick downfield. No, holding on. Holding on. I think it's going to go to Auckland. He had a good quarter, Timmy Auckland. Love how he's getting across the ground, Heelsey. So Auckland. Well. Here's Leadham. He's got his
down the line, big fella.
Got his teammate up the line. His fellow ruckman. Here's Hamish Leadham working hard against Smith. A 1-2 combination. Gilby, half-back, good class by hands. Here's Matt McGuinness, the young, still go left side. Does not, does now, steps around Auckland, takes them on, gives a handball over the top to Josh Williams. Williams goes inboard, here's Mosquito, bounced in front, Mosquito, can't claim that one, hit the turf, wouldn't have walked. Rundle, down the line, here's 1-on-2, Hines. Can't take it there, not a great handball. Jeremiah Perkins turns it over to Rundle.
Oh, the Vice.
It's the Vice, can't grab it. Here's Rundle over the top. He's got Jackson in the square. Should be another goal. Launceston. Oh, excellent effort. Well done there by Robbie McManus. Been one of the better players for Lauderdale.
Definitely.
And McManus punches the ball through. And there's another ball behind Launceston. You put that one up, Foz?
Whoop. No.
13-13, 91. Lauderdale 7-8-50. 41 points. McManus straight down, kicks the ball well outside 50. Pulfreman. Oh, he gets it. He breaks the 50. Brody Pulfreman has a look at the big sticks and misses near side. Brody Pulfreman. Well, they just cannot link up at the moment, Lauderdale. Even when they do some nice play, they just cannot get it out. And they trail by 42 points.
Kick out from fullback. Couple of opportunities gone begging there for the Blues as Wiggins kicks to himself, goes wide. Contest over there, nice mark. Hayden Smith releasing handball now to Heavey. Kicks up the wing, looking there for Havea. Might have been a hand on the shoulder there from Mundy on Havea. So Havea will take the free kick. To Ty Havea. Takes his time. Invited now to play on. Half forward flank. Over the back was Ben McGuinness. Roving nicely as Mosquito. Kicks along the ground. Dribble kick. He can't convert there. It misses to the right hand side. One behind. 7-9-51. Lauderdale 13-14-92. Macca, Sun's still in front.
Sun's by 8, halfway through the third. Ooh. So, yeah, good work there. What's our Cade Collar-Jasny watch? She's had 12 touches, Hilsey.
12, that's not a bad.
Cade Collar-Jasny, getting back in.
Kick out to the far side, only as far as Havea. Over the top to Mosquito on the boundary line. Centering kicks a good one to Karanoya. And Henry Karanoya will line up for his second. And Lauderdale's first for this second half.
3-quarter time, the Magpies by 46 over the Kangaroos.
Kangaroos' finals hopes are fading a little bit with that result. Here comes Henry Karanoya, about 30 out on an angle. He makes no mistake, and that's a goal for Lauderdale. Brings the margin back to 35 points. And good work on the far side there from Mosquito. Sensible kick. He found his teammate there in Henry Karanoya.
Well, they needed it, didn't they, Lauderdale?
We needed it, boys. We needed it.
72-point turnaround. They're up by 30 and down by 42. They get that one back.
It's a big turnaround.
Yep. No.
Haven't called those boys Mosquito Karanoya too much since the first, Dave.
No. Well, they've probably got a few mates there. They've
Yes.
had a bad patch. That's no doubt about that. But anything can happen in footy. Another quick one now. If you're within 5 goals with a quarter to go, things can happen. So,
well, the local bookies, they had Lauderdale favourites as they headed up the highway, and you think after the first 5 minutes the bookies were on the game, but not since then. Gilby gets his kick smothered. Baker might have been taken high by Leadham. Umpire says play on. Ball goes Lauderdale's end of the ground. Coming out, taking too long with the footy was the Lauderdale player as he gets up. That Franklin just took too long, and Savage, the co-captain on half back, just does the job for them week in, week out across that half back line. Flying for the ball was Boyce, and the umpire said you actually flew too much, and it's going to be a kick to Robbie McManus. So Lauderdale, they're going to have to come home with a real wet sail if they are going to get back into this game. Down the line, long kick, looking for Havea. It's 1 against 4. Bottom of the pack, Karanaya can't take it. Kelly Mansell, he takes it, and Chase Jones gets the snap kick mark. So Chase looks to play on. He does now. Squares the ball up. Oh, it's a tricky kick. He wasn't comfortable. Ben McGuinness has a shot from 50. He kicked 5 in the last quarter last week to get the Lauderdale Bombers home, but he misses far side this for a point, and they're going to need that performance again, aren't they, Hillsy? A Ben McGuinness masterclass, but I just don't know how they're going to get the ball to him.
Doesn't look
Their
likely.
midfielder getting smashed.
Well,
Thomas
that's
Mundy.
the biggest issue, Macca, isn't it?
Thomas Mundy kicks the ball out, looking for Jamison House. Oh, he's a big brute. And speaking of big brutes, he's Harper. So he could have raffled it there with House. Comes in board to Jackson. Jackson looks for Smith. Could be cut off by Sutton. It is. Reece Sutton, he overruns the footy. Can't do that in today's footy against this class of Pulframan. Jackson files through. Follows up to Sutton. Tries to get his mistake back. Coming through the pack, Lauderdale. They have lifted the last couple of minutes. Karanaya looks over the top here for Lauderdale player in Launceston. Launceston goes long, and it's going to be another behind. No, it hasn't gone through. McGuinness right on the line. Tries to get the handball out to Stanley. They're still piling in right on the line. Looks for a rugby try. The goal umpire's looking closely, and the umpire's going to fix it because he's paid a free kick. And he's going to pay a free kick to the Launceston player down there. And he might have copped one. And it doesn't matter. It's terrible, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be three-quarter time. Three-quarter time, Launceston 13-14-92. So they kicked 5 for the quarter.
5-3.
They were all pretty much in the first sort of half of that quarter, to be honest, Hilsey. And Lauderdale 8-10-58. Goal kickers for Launceston. Mitch Thorpe has 3 to take his tally up to 51 for the season. Jake Hines has 2. And singles to Riley, Chase Jones, Joby Harper, Joe Boyce, Jake Smith, Hamish Leadham, Kelly Mansell, and Ethan Jackson. And for Lauderdale, 2 to Karanaya, and singles to Mosquito, Sutton, Boscott, Bell Chambers, Ben McGuinness, and Matt McGuinness. Well,
Hillsey, still a faint glimmer of hope maybe for Lauderdale. They did play much better in that last 5 minutes or so, but Launceston with 5 goals that quarter, still well in control.
Interesting to see Lauderdale just go straight to a huddle here. I'm sure some of the leaders in their team are putting them in, saying they're still in the contest, but you'd have to say Launceston had complete control since quarter time, or well before that actually. They just look to be playing a better brand of football. They're owning the ground, or all parts of the ground really, and Lauderdale cannot get any sort of string of possession together at all. So that's been their issue, is moving the ball from defence to attack, and they seem to be breaking down in all facets. The biggest area of the game that I've been able to pick up is the midfield battle. You probably think in the past Lauderdale pride themselves on the contested ball, but Launceston have smashed them in that today, and that's probably where the game has been won, boys.
Mitch Hills for City Park Radio Sport. We'll take a break here from Windsor Park. We're back in a moment. The Blues lead by 34 points.
Who said life wasn't meant to be?
Listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Welcome back to Windsor Park on City Park Radio at three-quarter time. It's Launceston 13-14-92, Lauderdale 8-10-58. Time to get down to Anthony Osborne at KG5. What's happening, mate?
G'day, Dave. Yeah, sirens just sounded for three-quarter time here at KG5, and North Launceston have really opened this game up now. 12-10-82, leading the Magpies 6-8-44. Again, North Launceston just seemed to be the better side for the most part of that third term. Glenorchy had some opportunities probably midway through the term when the ball was locked inside 50 for a while, but really struggled to capitalise and put it on the scoreboard. So they're facing quite a mountain to climb heading into the final term.
Fantastic. And North Launceston, who have been the good players in this third quarter, and maybe some of their goal kickers?
Yeah, so Tom Bennett has been really impressive this term for North Launceston, just presenting really well inside at forward 50. Brad Cox-Goodyear has been lively, as he was in the opening half as well. He now has 6 goals for the game. Tom Bennett also has 3, and the usual suspects of Taylor Whitford. Sharon Egger has also shown some really promising signs as well, and for Glenorchy, it's that third term probably wasn't quite as exciting as the others, but Jay Bowden still been thereabouts. Harry and Rick DeSalter spending a fair bit of time on him, but Rick DeSalter probably got the chocolates in that third term.
And any more news, mate, on Jay Foon, who went off in that second quarter?
Yeah, little more news. Just knowing that it was from he was basically just tackled into the ground. I'm not too sure if it was an illegal tackle or anything like that. It was just impact when he hit the ground. He has been taken to hospital in an ambulance. The word I'm hearing from North Launceston is that he is okay. So that's good news. But he'll obviously just be taken there for precautionary reasons, just to get a look over. But yeah, he was on the ground for quite a while before he was stretchered off. And he's hoping that he recovers nice and quickly. Again, it'll just be one of those things we'll have to look at during the week in terms of how long he's out for, if he is out, or if he's able to come back next week.
Now, one more thing, Anthony. I want you to get the calculator out in the next quarter or so. Tell us, based on the results that are happening, whether this might sneak Launceston into third place on the ladder. It'll be interesting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Sorry, just had the siren there, Dave. Absolutely. Yep. I'll see what I can do. I'm not quite as good as I'm sure you are with the mathematics, Dave, but I'll see what I can do and try and get some information back to you when we cross at the end of the day.
No worries, mate. Thanks, and we'll hear from you again at full time.
No worries. Thanks.
Anthony Osborne there at KG5. Macca.
Of course, that's if Launceston hold on, Dave.
Oh, of course.
Because Lauderdale, they do come home hard. Got some stats through, Dave. So individual stats for Launceston. Dylan Riley's had 16 for the game. Mitch Thorpe's had 17. He had 9 in that quarter, Mitch Thorpe. I reckon a few of them were just those little up and unders, but he had 9 for the quarter, 17 for the game. Chase Jones, a better quarter. He had 7 for the quarter, 17 for the game. Sammy Rundle, leading possession getter for Launceston. He's had 20 for the game. Joby Harper, 4 intercept marks and 14 possessions for the game. Brendan Taylor, 16. Jake Smith with 15. Runner Kelly Mansell, 15. And Mundy, 15.
We'll get to the team stats in a minute, Matt, but we might go down to Booney on the boundary line. Booney.
Yeah, g'day team. I've just been to the Lauderdale huddle and fairly calm address there from Darren Winter. He's encouraged them to take the game on and really have a crack. He felt that they were too stationary at the moment, so he wants them to try and move the ball quickly, wheel and go, and really take the game on. He mentioned that a few times. So, not a serve as such, but more just a licence to really go out and play hard in the last quarter and just see what you can do.
No worries, Booney. Any major injury worries you can see?
No, I've been watching both benches there, Dave, and nothing to report there.
Thanks, Booney. We'll hear from you again during the last quarter.
Thanks, Dave.
That's Craig Boone for City Park Radio Sport. Macca, any quickly from the team stats there?
Just once again, the uncontested marks. We spoke about Launceston's reliance on those. 17-8 for the quarter, Hilsey, and contested possessions 43-31.
They're doing it on the inside and the outside.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah. That's it. Last quarter, round 17. Dave mentioned Launceston could sneak up to third today if results go their way. So a massive last quarter coming up. Auckland been a good in that third quarter. Karen Nyer, multiple goal kicker. Comes out as the sun starts to set, Dave. Things start to get a little bit darker. Here's Heavey. They need the first one. Lauderdale. Oh, the kick fortunately lands in the hands of Ed Stanley. And Ed Stanley, after he crossed across from Clarence a few years ago, was a renowned goal kicker. Actually played quite a bit of backline footy when he first came over from Lauderdale. He's going to have a shot from goal. And as I said, Dave, they need this one, Lauderdale, to give themselves any chance. They find themselves 5.5 goals behind. So Ed Stanley, 20 metres out, slide angle in front of the can bar here at Launceston Premiership players. Ed Stanley says, thank you. I will have that goal. And there's the one Lauderdale need. They got to get up and about. I said they come home hard, Dave.
You've
Like
called
a third place getter in the Melbourne Cup. They keep coming over the 3,200.
Well,
Ed Stanley kicks the first for Lauderdale.
We saw a game here early in the season, Launceston versus Glenorchy, where Launceston had a good lead around about this, maybe a bit less, three-quarter time, and they end up winning by a point. So, absolutely not over yet.
Here come the Dale. Here come the Dale.
Well, it's the one they needed.
Back in the middle. Only a minute into this last quarter.
You go, Dave. We're going to keep an eye on the Suns.
Bounce down. Smith up against Auckland. It might be another bounce. No, it's just inside the circle. Mosquito tackled. And there'll be a secondary ball up. Talk to us, Magga, quickly.
Oh, no, you're right. I'm just having a look at my dream team, to be honest. I've got to make a swap for Nick Nat. Nick Nat out. I've got to do something.
Yeah,
there's another tackle laid there, so it'll be another ball up.
It's all here at the coalface, Dave. They need to win these clearances here. They're renowned as a hard inside team, and they really need to win it in here.
Suns by 20, Dave, against the Swans.
Well, it could be a massive upset. I think they were about $12, the Suns.
Magpies by 65.
Got a free kick back in the centre of the ground. It's going to go to Tim Auckland. Impressive young man.
Would be for the Suns in southeast Queensland footy. Brady Mychek's kick 4 at the G.
As Auckland releases a kick up towards half forward. Off the pack, roved by Thorpe. Thorpe kicks up towards Riley in a contest. Dylan Riley takes it. Fantastic mark up against Oscar Shaw.
The Vice.
Just positioned his body well and got the drop of the ball and took it nicely. And this could be the answering goal. Wouldn't say it'll put out the fire just yet, but it'll certainly be a very handy one after Ed Stanley got Lauderdale off to such a good start in this last quarter. Dylan Riley, he's only kicked the one goal today in the first quarter, but he's been very lively. Riley, that's a goal to the Blues. That's the one they needed to answer the early challenge from Lauderdale. That's their 14th, 14-14-98. Lauderdale 9-10-64. Hilsey.
Yeah, I mean, Lauderdale, just a couple of infringements there. I think it was a ruck infringement again from Hayden Smith, and Timmy Auckland's had a good return to senior footy, hasn't he, boys?
How was the mark from Riley, though? Just showed he's a bit of experience there against a younger opponent.
He's the Vice, mate. Great hands. He's really good to watch when he's in the forward line there. He's super dangerous and a really smart player too.
Back in the middle, here's Matthew McGee.
Nick Butler bounces the ball. Lovely bounce, Nick Butler. Hayden Smith up against Auckland. Coming into the game, as Hilsey said, the young ruckman. Came back from the Sandful Crows. He's gained some great experience over there in that culture. That's set up of Adelaide. What a great experience it is for him. He's a good size, isn't he, Auckland? Getting across the ground, Hayden Smith. He's had the lone battle today against the dual ruckman. Nick Butler finds a free kick. It's going to go to Smith. Gives it out the back. McManus. Here's Mosquito. Jumps early and gets it. He's actually gone onto him, Tom Shepherd, after that electric first quarter from Mosquito. He's done a pretty good job, Shepherd. Just not giving him many yards like he had early on. Mosquito goes inside 50 looking for Havea. Van der Velde spoils well. McManus at the front. Havea says, don't argue with me, Chase Jones. All comes over looking for Boscott, but an excellent mark by Joby Harper in defence. It's his 5th mark for the day, Joby Harper. Oh, not one of his greatest kicks. He didn't get back off the mark. Shepherd butters up for him, though. And Savage just fumbles it across the line.
Hasn't had a great day kicking the football
No,
today,
but geez, I'll tell you what, he's been pretty good. He's been pretty good down there. Dave, I don't think your charge is working, mate. There we go.
No, it's all right. It's into the unit.
Oh.
Yep.
You're running out of charge.
I'll be right.
Righto. You're going to play the Russian roulette. Ball comes in. Goes to Heavey. Can't get the ball away. Jamison House. Burrowing in as he does. Here's that at the back. Kanaya. Left foot. Stanley again. Has he got the spot? Ed Stanley. Good mark. And Ed Stanley takes the mark on Ryan Tyrrell. And he pushes. That's going to be 50 against Ryan Tyrrell, is it? Yes, it is. And he just pushed the Lauderdale opponent away. And Ed Stanley drills the ball. And that's his second for the quarter. Takes his tally up to 20 for the year. And Ed Stanley gets 2. Lauderdale move on to 10-10-70, 28 points in a drift of Launceston, 14-14-98.
Need to put 2 together if they're any chance, boys, don't they? So the next clearance is going to be vital.
Well, still plenty of time. We've only ticked over 5.5 minutes.
So we're looking at a good contest in this last quarter. It's been a pretty good standard game all day. It was electrifying first quarter.
Good contest, yeah.
With 9 goals kicked. And, of course, Launceston really took a vice-like grip on this game in the third quarter. 2 goals to 1 though, Lauderdale's way.
Interesting setups. Lauderdale have got 6 inside their forward 50. Hillsy. Launceston have got 3. So 3-on-3 versus 6-on-6, either end of the ground.
Out the back to Rundle, kicks off the ground. Probably an intelligent option as it turns out. Up here towards Hines. He's on the bottom of the pack. Tries to wrestle free. Umpire circling, and we'll say you've not disposed of that. So it'll be a free kick. Player emerges. That's Joey Boyce.
Really like to see him move the ball a little bit quicker, a little bit more urgency, like they did in the first.
Josh McGuinness is going to switch.
Got Ben on.
Umpire says play on. He has indeed.
A little bit sideways.
It's Oscar Shaw taking the mark. Kicks up the wing towards Matt McGuinness. That's Ben McGuinness. It's downfield. So Ben McGuinness is marked.
I think he had it covered anyway, Ben McGuinness.
As the sun starts to set, shadows lengthen.
Dear.
Kick straight here to Donnellan, who should take an uncontested mark and does. He's got an outlet play here if he wants him in Harper. He goes to kick that towards Jackson, has to get on his bike after it, and then fumbles it over the boundary line.
There's no handball receives, run from behind.
That's what I want. You just got to play with a bit of urgency, like you want to win the game. It's a little bit slow and stagnant again from Lauderdale.
That's an awful kick to, nowhere position, really. It's not the centre half forward, it's not inside 50.
Well, had no forward structure set up, mate. They just got too tight trying to take the one contested mark.
As it's at the front now to lead him. Releases the handball. Well done there by Baker. Stands up in the tackle. Intelligent tap out there from Smith to McManus. To Josh McGuinness. Short to Heafy. Half volley. Back to Josh McGuinness. Handball now to Mosquito. He's got a couple of players running. Josh McGuinness again. Third involvement. Handball ends up here with Harrison. Low kick towards full forward. Tyrrell in there. Taps it towards the boundary line intelligently. You'd be happy to see it over, I think. It doesn't go over. Still in play. Boscott tries to bulldog his way through. Eventually it does spill over the boundary line.
Just couldn't find one inside 50. That kick inside 50.
Much better play, taking the game on through the middle of the ground.
That was the first quarter, Lauderdale, that was.
Well, Alex Heavey, when he came through the Mariners program, Hillsy, before your day, he was actually elite endurance, and he just keeps running and running and running, and he's doing so today.
Boundary throw in. Smith to the hot spot with the tap.
Well done.
Well done there from Palfreyman to Rundle to Jackson, all by hand. Jackson's handball's not a good one, intercepted by Sutton. To Harrison, back to Sutton. In fact, it was Baker involved. Josh McGuinness, little one here to Mosquito. Good spoil Smith. Ruller gets around. Little release handball to Jake Smith. Takes his time, sums it up. Gets it to Donnellan on the boundary line. Waits the kick nicely up here towards Riley. Intercept there from Ben McGuinness. Taken by Riley. He's got a players up the line here. One of them's in Taylor. Taylor now gets on his bike. Gets towards attacking 50. Kicks to a central position, but it's a poor delivery.
I think he was having a shot, to be honest, because he could have squared the ball up to Hines.
He could indeed. Relieving mark there from Lauderdale.
Lauderdale, they get it back through Oscar Shaw, centre half back. He's got them lined up in the middle, didn't see them, so goes outside. It's a long way away, Dave Mohr.
That's not what we want.
Laumsitz.
We'll go with that. Boundary throw in.
Need sunnies out here, boys.
Yeah, I need to get them on. Beautiful. Can't see a thing over there at the moment as the sun blares in from the right. It's a beautiful day, a bit better than last Sunday, Dave, when it's just started to near snow. So we're here on the balcony. Lauderdale get the ball. Nat Franklin hacks it forward. It's only as far as Harper. I reckon that's his 6th intercept mark for the day. Big Harps. Better kick. Shows it a little bit though to the Lauderdale defenders. Well done, Tom Mundy. Just liked his defensive game today. Finds Kelly Mansell. It's a Kelly Mansell special. Outside 50, puts the hands up, tells the Lauderdale crowd to be quiet, and Kelly Mansell kicks his second from outside 50. Kelly Mansell, what another special Tassie Artificial Turf goal of the day contender.
Absolutely fantastic. You almost could see that happening, unfolding, couldn't you?
You can see. He loves to sneak forward, doesn't he?
He'll give us another look here.
Down. He wants to give us something. He knows we're here. No. Yes, no.
15-14, 104 Launceston. Lauderdale 10-10, 70. And with 10 minutes gone, that probably puts the result.
The sealer? I reckon it is. Look, he's coming back from the defensive 50. Runs down. He's taken Reece Sutton all the way down. He should just go and say, hey, Reece, you didn't chase me.
Thank you.
He's having a good back half of the season, Ruller. Coming back after a break through illness.
Fatigue weeks.
Yep. As Smith gets it down. Nice tap out towards Franklin, who releases a kick. Out here, it's Mosquito up against Shepherd. Mosquito might have got a free kick there. Shepherd takes it though. Boyce front position. Smack down now towards Auckland. Auckland kicks towards half forward. Thorpe takes it on a bounce, gets a good bounce. Handballs it straight to Franklin. Franklin now Sums up his options, gives it straight to Timmy Auckland. Turnover. Auckland pumps it inside 50, and I think he might turn it over as well. Although it's almost Riley there, taking it as Hines. Hines is looking for a shot on goal, looking to pull the trigger. Right-hand handball now, though, towards Palfreyman. He snaps to Brady Palfreyman. Another one to the Blues. That's the 16th.
The package.
16, 14, 110 to 10, 10, 70. And I thought he might have been a bit too far out for having a snap like that, but the ball just kept on carrying and snuck inside the left-hand goalpost. And it's a 40-point margin now to the Blues.
Good positioning, your boy Auckland. Good position behind the footy. They kicked it to him. That's where you wanted to be as a ruckman.
He's a smart ruckman. He positions himself well. I don't know at the kick. He sort of just slammed it on the boot, but things worked out. He moved it quickly in the package with the finish.
Palfreyman. Should have got in the votes last week. You should have seen Maxi. Maxi's just burnt him last week with the votes.
Has he?
Yep.
Well, he's been good again today too. We don't know about the votes.
No,
but we'll see how
he
we
was
go.
in the votes last week. I had to apologise to him, to be honest.
No fair.
Auckland had a good second half, the youngster. Could have been free kick. Don't know which way it's going to go. It's going to go Launceston's way. And here he is, the package. And there's
50,
another 50. What's happened this time?
Now, that can't have been an area one that time.
It has to be. What else was it for, Dave?
A bit of lip, maybe.
I think it was lip.
Yeah.
Lip. Gates Bellchambers. Belcho.
Bellchambers lip.
Oh, dear. That's 3 or 4 50s, I reckon.
Too many.
There was a couple from McGuinness early on. There was a couple a protected zone, but this one could have been lip.
Always on the boundary a bit, aren't they, Lauderdale, discipline-wise?
So Palfreyman going to go for 2 in a row, the boy. Palfreyman looking to sneak into the votes today. He's going to kick the ball from 40 metres out directly in front.
The package.
Oh, he leans back. It looks pretty good. It's going to go the line. Just touched on the line by McGuinness. And it's nearly back-to-back goals to Palfreyman. But well done back there, Ben McGuinness. Matt McGuinness, I think it might have been. And Wiggins is going to take the resultant behind kick. He kicks to himself, does Wiggins. Doesn't gain a real lot of territory. Puts himself under pressure, in fact. Harper's lurking. Oh, good mark. Good mark, Matt McGuinness. And Matt McGuinness, the youngster, Dave.
Launceston Arena, that's a 73, 9-19-73 Clarence, 9-4-58 North Hobart.
Good effort, the young North Hobart side. We mentioned they brought all the 16-year-olds in today. Oh, here goes Lauderdale. They come down. Here is Karen Nyer. He has Boscott on. He got out of the back, but he's turned it over. The only thing he had to do was go over the top of Tyrrell, and Tyrrell chops it off. Oh, he's not a great Cyril. He gives it back. Oh. Dropping the mark was McManus. He tries to butter up. Heavy's there. There's Boscott, Stanley, but it goes back to Tyrrell. Oh, he saved the day there. Tyrrell, after he mucked it up, goes to Chase Jones. Looks over the back to Boyce. Boyce, deliberate kick to Hines. Right in front of the interchange box for Lauderdale. Comes back in looking for Auckland. 1-on-2. Auckland got his hands to it. Rushton, the little bulldog. He's tackled. Umpire says give it to me, right? In the centre circle area of the ground here at Windsor Park. And as the sun starts to set, Dave, it's Launceston 16-15, 1-1-1, leading Lauderdale by 41 points, 10-10, 70 to Lauderdale.
Thanks to our sponsors, Andrew Doyle, Telstra Stores, Kings Meadows and Quadrant Mall, as Palfreyman having a big last quarter. Gets away. Hines has had a good game today, drops a mark on this occasion, gets the recovery though. Gets around calmly, keeps it low to Joe Boyce, and he'd fancy himself for a shot on goal from about 40 metres out, 45-degree angle. Back in the side today, Joey Boyce. Once the veteran stage now for the Blues. He had a bit of a breakaway at one stage there at Old Scotch, but he's returned back to Windsor Park, and he's playing some good footy this year. As Joe Boyce delivers for goal, and he's put it through. The number 16 for Launceston kicks their 17th goal, 17-15, 1-1-7 to 10-10, 70. And he's a solid citizen, Joey Boyce, isn't he, Hillsy? He puts in each week and put himself in a good position there.
Been around for a long time. He's certainly a bit of a role player. He provides them with a fair bit of grunt through the midfield. He sort of spends a little bit of time forward and puts pressure on. So, handy player to have. He's certainly hard around the edges, and he's been pretty good this year for the boys, Launceston Blues.
So the sun's streaming. Our stream viewers probably see the shadows lengthening here. It's been a lovely July day. Back in the middle, and here's Matthew McGee for City Park Radio Sport.
Lauderdale, it's going to be a long trip back. They went into the game favourites. They, had a top, 3, top 4. They're going to slip down now after today's effort. Gilby, haven't really seen a lot of Gilby today, Hillsy, for a bloke who's come back from pretty good football.
No.
Taylor, he's been brilliant today, the little brawler, out in front of Thorpe. He's looking to fill his boots up again in the last quarter. Snaps it in, looking for Riley, can't find it. Geez, he's quick on the ground, Riley, when he goes up. He gets back down. Coming out through Chase Jones by hand, fumbled by Rundle. Rundle, cross to Chase Jones again, caught in the tackle, good hands. Back to Rundle, left foot, top of the square. Looking for Riley, puts him up. Oh, nearly paid the umpires, nearly stopped there, the boys. And it was taken there, and it's going to be a ball up 20 metres out directly in front of Launceston's goals.
Mosquito had enough of that for mine.
You haven't been able to call the name enough today.
No, just trying to find things for him now.
Yes, he's just
coming down, here's Rundle from the ball up. He snaps it round right forward. What a goal. Great ruck work there from Launceston. And Sammy Rundle on the end of it. He takes the resultant tap out, bursts through the pack, did Rundle. And he's kicked the goal for them. I've liked his game today, Sam Rundle.
We'll probably underestimate the experience of Launceston. You've got Rundle, Boyce, Savage, these sort of older heads. And they all play good games today.
Well, we've got a good mixture, don't they?
Yep.
You know, you look at both lists. There's a good rounded of talent and older players. But Launceston, so their senior players have really stood up today when they really needed to.
Well,
so
full credit. Let's go back to this first quarter. Full credit to Launceston. 5 goals down. You know, there's been question marks about Launceston against good, better sides. They've come here, they've lost to Glenorchy, they've lost to Clarence, and today they were down the barrel by an even 5 goals. But they've just turned it around. And what have they kicked? They've kicked 18-5.
Yep.
18-5 goals since that opening 10, 15 minutes of the game.
You would have forgiven them for panicking at that stage, but they didn't, did they? They sort of kept their heads there. And
Bell Chambers releases to Keranoia. Left foot kick inside 50 for the Bombers. In front is Harper. Spills off his chest. In fact, that was Savage in there. Danella now to Harper. Kick smothered. Ricochets. Harper takes it. Tries to strike a tackle. Releasing handball to Danella, whose kick is smothered. Not a great passage of play, this one. Jamison House. He's tackled. He's going to be caught. Holding the ball. So it'll be a free kick to Lauderdale. Maybe too far out to score there. Right on the, just outside the 50. Let's see who the player will be to take the free kick. Looks like Alex Heavey. Ball comes into the half-forward line. Out of bounds on the full.
It's not the greatest kick, is it? Inside 50.
Dave, I think that was your boy.
Yeah, I took my eye off. Looking for Heavey, was looking for the free kick there, but somebody else.
I'm pretty sure it was Mosquito.
Was it? Okay, Van der Velde goes long. Up the wing. Falls off the pack. Player there, Danellen, has to release the ball. Chance for Lauderdale. Handball comes through. Another one over the top. It's intercepted.
Oh.
That's Joby Harper. Don't argue.
Do not argue.
Kicks up the wing. Off the chest there of Hines. Mopping up there is Jeremiah Perkins. Comes back to Williams. Under pressure. Williams gets it towards Bell Chambers. Ball ricochets to Taylor. He's tackled, no prior. Should be a ball up centre wing. Got some updates in the AFL for the Sandbacker.
Oh, do you want them, Dave? Gold Coast Suns by 8. 8 minutes into the last quarter.
Tightening up.
And the Magpies by an even 11 goals over the Kangas. And the Bombers and the Dockers are about to get underway.
Thor Boscott, Macker races through. Slow kick. Can't pick it up there as Gilby. Releases the handball. Chance here for Lauderdale. Handball over the top there. Looking for Laumses. He picks it up now. It's Corey Laumses. Kicks in desperation up here towards Riley, who just thumps it out of defence. Dylan Riley now back in the back half. And he finds touch over here. Ben McGuinness asks for deliberate, and the umpire pays it. So against Dylan Riley there. Umpire Doyle. Ben McGuinness. Short kick. Baker. Boots it inside 50. Lots of blue defenders in the front position here. Savage nearly takes the mark. Oh, Danellen. Caught high right in front of umpire Nick Butler. He taps his shoulder. You thought the deliberate was a bit harsh, Hillsy?
Well, you kicked it 65 metres. I don't know about that.
No, they pay him these days, mate. There's Danellen inside defensive 50. It's a 53-point margin. Here's Macca McGee for City Park Radio.
Where are we, Dave? Danellen looking down into the sun. Comes down here and right in front of us, and it's a good mark taken by Tutai Havea. Get another look at those big drivers, Hillsy.
Massive. Impressive.
Really impressive. Tutai Havea. It's an up and under kick. They've done a few of them today. Lauderdale haven't really given their forwards a good go. Here's Mundy and a real lot of the footy, but by geez, I tell you what, he's defended well today. Boyce fortunately finds Thorpe. Looked to play on and did. Gives it in the middle of the package. Here's Pulverman. They've got an open forward line. He breaks the 50 with the kick, goes short to Hines. Look at the double back. Jake Hines, he'll boot this from 50. Jake Hines, normally a good kick, and is so. Jake Hines, the youngsters combine. What a goal to Launceston. They're filling up now. Launceston, that's their 19th. 19-15, 129. Lauderdale 10-10-70. That's his third, Jake Hines.
He had a good day, Hillsy. We tend to forget about Jake Hines, but he's still a very good footballer.
Well, he was one that the Geardy said they moved him forward to create a bit of run, like a bit of option there. He plays pretty tall, Hillsy, for his height.
Well, he does. He can do it all, mate. He's a great player. He's a great mark and a great kick, and he's found plenty of it today and used it really well. So that's good to see him finish off with a classy finish goal.
And it's always been a bit of a query, Launceston, where they're going to get the goals from if Thorpe doesn't kick them. But they found goals today through multiple goal kickers.
A lot of different goal kickers.
21 and a half minutes gone. Riley in the middle now. Gets it to Paul Freeman, who's had a big second half.
12 goal kickers, in fact, Dave, Launceston today.
Rushton gets over towards Thorpe, who's well up the ground. He tunnels it backwards towards Chase Jones, who takes it. Gets around nicely to Paul Freeman again. Called his name a lot. Brady Paul Freeman just steadies things down. Got a few options.
Seems pretty fit aerobically, Hillsy, Polframan.
Oh, mate, he's a freak. He's one of the best runners in the comp.
Yeah.
He's as fit as they get.
He's run
some good last quarters. Sorry, Dave.
You're right.
We're just having a chat here as the ball's not going anywhere.
I think a player held on to was Jeremiah Perkins there by Rundle, so he'll get a free kick. Deep in the back pocket. Short to Ben McGuinness. Down back. He looks to switch. He looks sideways. Shades his eyes from the sun. Quiet atmosphere now here at Windsor Park as Ben McGuinness goes up the line. Taken by Riley, held by one arm, managed to get a handball away to Jones. Over the top to big Leadham. Leadham pumps it inside of 50, looking for Thorpe. Evades him. Still in play with Smith. His handballs to space. Who can get there? Boyce is lingering. He meets the tackle. Does Joey Boyce? Where does the umpire see this one? He's going to ball it up right at the top of the goal square for Launceston. They lead by 59 points.
Pleasing thing for Lonnie Hillsy, got a bye next week, so they've been able to crack in today. They've got a bye. Week off comes at the right time, doesn't it, with a month out from finals.
Well, they've turned around their form and they get a week off, head into the last stretch.
Jack Rushton snaps, and Jackie Rushton gets another goal for the Blues. The number 32 there. He's good for a goal or two each week, and he loves those ones.
Their 13th goal kicker.
20-15, 135, 10-10-70. The margin out to 65 points. And hard player, Jack Rushton, isn't he, Hillsy?
He's a favourite of yours, Dave.
He is. I like the way he plays.
I get a feeling you really like the way he goes about it.
He does a lot of those unseen things. He's very much an inside player.
He's very hard.
Yep. He's a former Rocherley and East Coast Swan. 65 points of the margin. We've probably got to about 4 or 5 minutes left of playing time. You listen to City Park Radio 103.7 and 96.5. Thanks to our listeners. Next week we'll be at Utah Stadium, North Launceston and Clarence, and that'll be a beauty as well.
Will be a beauty. You imagine the Bombers will go in favourites. Clarence haven't been. They've done the hard work today trying to shake a young North Hobart. Coming out here now, Franklin. Kicks it inside 50. Boscott got rid of by Mundy. Here's Sutton at the front. Boscott tries to tap it on. Not going far. Sutton dropped it. Umpire agrees. Good kick out by Mundy, but it's going to be a free kick to Brendan Taylor.
Oh, chases away.
Brendan Taylor is one that's sort of found himself outside the team a few weeks ago. He's come back in, and he's put a couple of good games together as young brawler.
He's done his chances, no harm today. He's been terrific.
Kicks the ball well. This one's great as well over the top to Mundy. So the Burnie boy, Tommy Mundy.
Brendan Taylor's really developed in his time here, don't you reckon, Mac?
Yeah,
He's
definitely.
a much improved player since, I guess, school football days.
He had a year, didn't he, at North Launceston, I think, before he crossed over the bridge.
St Pat's, I think, as well.
And St Pat's old boys, of course. 206 games superstar. Dave Mohr, 42 goals. Biggest goal scorer against Exeter of 4.
That's it.
Premiership player. Any best and fairest, Dave?
Yep.
1?
Yep.
Didn't want to push yourself to the higher level?
Didn't ever think about
Knew
it?
your ability?
Yep.
Yeah, lack of
Second
pace on the
player.
big grounds, I think, hurt him.
No left foot.
No left foot. Plenty out here that don't have a left foot, Dave.
I didn't have either.
I tell you. Mitchell didn't have a right.
Look, to be honest, when I was younger, every single coach said, you've got to develop a left foot, son. You'll never be any good unless you develop a left foot. So
And you
I didn't.
Didn't listen.
I didn't listen.
Didn't listen, but I tell you what, it's given us some great entertainment over the last couple of weeks, your footy career. Here we go, boundary throw in, dying minutes of the game here. We've ticked across 25 minutes. It's a massive score, Launceston. 20 goals, 15, 135. They are 65 points in front. of Lauderdale. A 95-point turnaround.
Absolutely smashed them since that
Absolutely
halfway through the first
smashed
quarter.
them.
It's been complete dominance.
And good for Launceston's percentage. They went in with the percentage of 129 today. Lauderdale's percentage will cop a bit of a caning, Foz. They are only round about even there. They were 100%. So it's going to drop today on this effort. But Launceston, good percentage, 129%. I mentioned Launceston go next week. They've got a bye. Lauderdale have a home game against the Tigers, and then they have a bye. Launceston, after the bye, go and play the Tigers. They've got Clarence here, and then the Tigers down Hobart, and then Glenorchy back here. So that Glenorchy-Launceston game in the final round, Dave.
Could be big.
Could be big. McManus goes inside 50. Here's Matt McGuinness, puts the jukes up the youngster.
Good mark.
Good mark, Matt McGuinness. And they just haven't had enough of that today. The kicks inside haven't been to the advantage of their forwards. They've thrown the McGuinness boys back and forward of Ben and Matt McGuinness. And this time it's Matt. He takes a mark. 30 metres out, if that. Pretty much in front. But this game's over. 65 points at this stage. This is to bring it back under the 10-goal margin. So Matt McGuinness, he's come off the Allies. Second game back for Lauderdale. He leans back, and unfortunately he's missed far side. So there's a point to Matt McGuinness. And Ruller, he's going back. He's going to take the kick-ins now. Ruller Kelly Mansell transformed his game. Last couple of weeks, he's gone over the line, Ruller. The umpire's going to ball it up right at the top of the square, Hillsy.
Yeah, he's had a good game. I was really impressed with his his game last week. So he's following again, playing in that new role. Really sets him up, doesn't he?
Ball up right in the goal square. A lot of players around the contest. Falls. Tyrrell, I think it is, who torps it out of defence. Up here towards Big Leadham. Can't pick it up. He goes again. The big fella does well. Handball's up the line in hope. Here's Corey Launces towards the boundary line.
Jeez, he's angry.
Keeps it in. Jackson. Savage against 4. He's tackled. No prior. Out of bounds, a ball up as Nick Butler comes to the contest.
Big Leadham. Did you have much to do with Leadham as a youngster up at South, Hillsy?
I did. Yes, he's
improved, hasn't he? Big fella.
Massively. I rucked against him in the last few years, and he's a real competitor for sure.
Ball up with Smith and Auckland. Hits a player in the face there. That was McManus. McManus back in again. Burrows in. And players still giving it their all in the dying seconds. 28 minutes gone.
I've been thinking, apart from McManus, would you give any other Lauderdale player a tick for today? I really don't know.
I like the way Smith's battled.
Yeah, against 2.
But
Bell Chambers.
He's lost.
Emerges. Touch ball, is it? Yep. Tyrrell gets rid of the ball. As the final siren sounds here at Windsor Park, and it's a big win of the Blues. They've run out winners here. 2015, 135 defeat Lauderdale, 10-11-71. Macca will get the goal kickers.
Well, I haven't checked them, Dave, so I hope these add up to 20.
Yep.
Mitch Thorpe, 3. 1 in the first, the second and the third. Jake Hines with 3. Joey Boyce with 2. Ruller Kelly Mansell with 2. Dylan Riley with 2. Chase Jones, Sam Rundle, Joby Harper, Jake Smith, Brodie Polferman, Hamish Leadham, Jack Rushton and Ethan Jackson. I don't think I've ever read that many goal kickers out for Launceston.
I stopped listening. There was too many.
Ed Stanley for Lauderdale. He got 2, as did Henry Karanaya. He got 2. Singles to Mosquito, Sutton, Boscott, Phil Bellchambers, Ben McGuinness and Matt McGuinness.
City Park Radio 103.7, 96.5 on the TSL live stream. Final score 2015-135 Launceston to Lauderdale's 10-11-71. We'll get some message from the studio. Then we'll get a report from Anthony Osborne, and we'll also hear from Sam Lonigan in the rooms.
But there's a lot more that happens at City Park Radio. The station is operated and run by volunteers, and we're always on the lookout for new people to help out in the office. Just a few hours a day, once a week is all that's needed, and it's not complicated. If you'd like to join our band of office volunteers, please call 6334 3344 during our office hours, 10 till 3 weekdays. That number again, 6334 3344. Be part of your community station, City Park Radio.
Hi there, Andrew Doyle from the Kings Meadows and Quadrant Mall Telstra stores. Want to be ahead of the game? With the Foxtel Entertainment and Sports package, you can watch it all unfold for just $29 per month. Don't just watch, get more of what you love with Foxtel packages from Telstra.
You ready to go?
Visit the team,
Yes, mate.
Kings Meadows or Quadrant Mall Telstra stores today.
Minimum cost $448.03 for new Foxtel or Foxtel from Telstra customers only. See in store for full terms and conditions. A sponsor of City Park Radio.
You're listening to great TSL action, Tasmanian State League football on City Park Radio.
Straight down to Anthony Osborne here at Windsor Park, and he's at KG5. Anthony, you got a final siren there?
G'day, Dave. Yeah, sirens just sounded here at KG5, and North Launceston running out convincing winners in the end, 13-14-92 to Glenorchy, 8-7-55, and a bit of a stalemate, it must be said, in the final term. Just the ball kind of going from end to end. It's not a heap of action going on, it must be said, but in the end, North Launceston just far too strong after really good performances in that second and third quarter.
Right, we've got to get to Sam Lonick in a minute, so very quickly, the goal kickers.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brad Coxgood, the leading goal kicker on the ground with 6 goals. Tom Bennett also with 3. Mark Walsh with 2 as well for North Launceston, while Jay Bowden and Harry Parker both kicked 2 each for the Magpies.
And did you get that calculator out? How do you see things?
Calculator was a touch broken, it must be said, Dave. But yes, as we talked before, it was only a couple of percent separating the sides, and with Launceston getting up, I believe, up there at Windsor Park, there's every chance that the Blues might just leapfrog into third spot. We'll obviously get the official ladder come out a little bit later this evening, but every chance that the Blues will jump straight into third spot, and again just shuffle this top 5 that continues to change week to week.
Yeah, it's a great competition leading up to the finals, and it seems that different teams are getting through different good form patches at different times, so it's going to be an exciting final series.
No, absolutely, and again today, just underlining that North Launceston is still the team to beat. They're recording a good win against Glenorchy here today, and it's certainly going to be a tough task to overcome. The Northern Bombers come to business end of the year.
Cheers, Anthony. Thanks for joining us on City Park Radio. All the best.
No worries. Thanks, Dave. Cheers, mate.
Anthony Osborne there from KG5. We'll wrap our stream up in just a moment, but Macca, you've got some ladder news. It's updated already, has it?
Yeah, I think it does. Launceston 133.6. and Glenorchy 131.8. So Launceston have gone into third, but they're a game in front of Glenorchy on games played. So, yes, there you go. So, going to be very interesting last month of the season before the finals start, Dave.
Was just a bit of an analysis from you about the game. We'll cut across if we get Booney in the meantime.
Yeah, well, I thought, we really thought we're in for a good game today, I guess, both sides. Lauderdale coming in as the form side of the comp, really, when you look back at results over the last 6 to 8 weeks. So really looking at a good contest today, but we saw that in the first 10 minutes with Lauderdale breaking through the gates and kicking the first, 6 goals. So
5 goals it was.
First 5, and it was panic stations, we thought, for Launceston. They kept their heads, and geez, did they turn it around. The footy they played for the rest of the game was dominant, and they really owned all facets of the game, and that started with their contest. Their work in and around the stoppages was excellent, and the boys through there, I thought Powerfreeman was really good around the contest, and I love the work of both ruckmen, but especially Timmy Auckland coming back into the fray, into senior football after a bit of a stint with school footy and over in the SANFL as well. But better players for Lonnie, I thought, were Jake Smith. He really connected them through between the arcs and got out and got loose. I thought Roller Kelly Mansell, again, in his role, sort of setting up off half back and getting forward and kicking a couple of amazing goals. I was really happy with Jake Hines' performance today. He's sort of been one that's sort of been sneaking under the radar, doing his thing, but today I thought he was really influential in them going really well. So, as we said throughout the call, if you flip across to Lauderdale, great start. They're going to be hugely disappointed. A real game that's going to shape the rest of their year and whether they could stand up in finals. And you'd have to say that they fell at the hurdle today. And if you went through better players for them, we really wanted to call Mosquito a lot more than we did. But there wasn't much to go from. McManus was probably good there, and And I thought Big Smithy in the ruck, my ex-teammate, played pretty well, but he probably got beaten on the day as well.
That's Mitch Hills for City Park Radio Sport. We're going to farewell our stream viewers now. Thanks for joining us here on City Park Radio. Repeating the final score, 20-15-135. Launceston defeated Lauderdale 10-11-71. Tune into the stream next week. We'll be at UTAS Stadium, North Launceston versus Clarence.